Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 8th weekly. I was about to say 8th annual weekly tournament, and that doesn't make any sense. The 8th weekly Canadian Highlander Xmage tournament that we host off the Discord. We got a ton of people. Well, okay, we don't actually have a ton of people here today. Unfortunately, my co-host, who has been here for a couple weeks now, our lovely Italian, he is... What a weirdo. He has an actual job and is doing something with his life. So, I mean, I don't know what to say. I'm hurt, mostly, but, you know, we'll get past it. So, yeah, this week we are running concurrent with the Olympics. Oh, I'm dropping like 60 frames. This is awful. We're concurrent with the Olympics. So, I just have to give a couple shoutouts. First of all, shout out to Yuzuru Hanyu for winning the Olympic gold in men's singles ice skating with the second highest, or figure skating, with the second highest short score, I believe, either of all time or of his career, which is very exciting. Shout out to Sean White for doing something on snowboarding. I don't follow snowboarding, so I couldn't tell you. Oh, there was one more that I wanted to shout out. Shout out to that French guy who won the biathlon, because the biathlon is like the coolest event of all time.
I will agree with you there.
Yeah, right? So, okay, for those of you who don't know what a biathlon is, essentially, you skate, or you ski...
Cross-country ski.
Yeah, you cross-country ski a track, and then midway through it, you stand and have to shoot at targets that are like... I want to say 200 yards away, but I don't know.
I think it's 50, because they use 22 caliber. And
They shoot guns at things that are far away.
There's 22 caliber rifles at about 50 yards, and depending on the length of the course, it's either prone and standing, or just prone, or prone standing, prone, or prone standing, prone standing, depending on how long the course is.
Yeah, so it's like really impressive that they can ski for a while and then shoot and then ski, you know.
Oh, winter triathlon?
Yeah, dude.
The biathlon, yeah.
It's
Biathlon,
very exciting.
Yeah, and I have to say, the moving and shooting is very difficult.
I've
Yeah.
heard. I have
used
no
to
first-hand experience, but I've heard.
I used to shoot a lot of USPSA matches in my local area,
What?
and you have to move and shoot, and it's very complicated and very inaccurate.
That's super cool. So, we've got a couple minutes until the tournament proper starts. Exactly 10. Well, 11, but close enough. I believe there are some like players here who play Canadian Highlander. Anybody?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
There happen to be a few.
Yeah, nice. So, what I wanted to talk about with you guys, was what have you been building recently? What have you been excited about? Like, what kind of avenues do you like exploring?
I just got turned on to one Night Magic. I was playing with the guy using.
Oh, you're cutting out a little bit.
I was using my blue-red Time Vault deck that I played in the first 2 weeks that I played here.
Right.
That's what I have in paper, but with a shitty mana base.
Mm.
And I was playing against one of my buddies who built a 4-color vampire deck. So I've been kind of tinkering with it a little bit.
4-color vamps?
Yeah, he was flashing blue for Mirko Vosk.
Wow!
Cards.
Oh my god. What is the blue vampire?
It's a Mirko Vosk. It's a blue-black.
Mirko.
Blue black.
How do you spell Mirko?
M-I-R-K-O.
Oh, this guy!
Yeah, it's blue
What?
black.
It's from
And it's flying.
Gate Crash?
Yeah, Mr.
Yeah.
Grind for 4.
Oh, excuse me.
I think I might have pulled this in pre-release.
What do you mean
No,
you pulled
no,
it
this
in
is-
pre-release?
No, No, but I didn't end up going to the Dragon's Maze pre-release.
Oh, I did.
I
Dragon
only
Maze
went to
pre-release
Gate
was
Crash.
sweet. Look at this man!
Gate Crash pre-release was
Slightly off.
Boros Roulette.
Yeah, no kidding. Flying. Whenever Murkovosk Mind Drinker deals combat damage to a player, that player reveals cards from the top of his or her library until he reveals 4 land cards?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Woof. I have a feeling he's actually not that good.
I don't think he is. It's just one of the cards that he kind of likes to play with.
It's a jank fire.
It reminds
I'll tell
me
you that.
of
Yeah.
what is it called? The one that grinds whenever you cast a spell?
Oh, yeah.
It's a star.
Yeah, and pound toughness is equal to the number of graveyard.
Consuming
cards on the
aberration.
library. Yeah.
I think
Well,
that's 6 mana.
Consuming aberration.
Yeah, it's Consuming Aberration. It's 3 blue-black for that text and star equal to the number of cards in all of your opponent's graveyards. And each opponent does it, I believe, as well. When you
It's a
cast
new
spell.
card, right?
It's
Gatecrash.
from Gatecrash.
It's also from Gatecrash, but it was reprinted
in
Commander 2016.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a 5-mana star. It's each equal to the number of cards in your opponent's graveyards whenever you cast a spell until they reveal 1 land card. You know, I actually have a feeling this might be playable in Lander.
Yeah.
I don't think it really is. It's real expensive.
It doesn't
then you
have
have to be able to-
trample.
And there's that.
Yeah.
And no evasion.
I think where you put this is in some sort of deck with Verils. Because the star ability operates in the graveyard.
Oh, that's gross.
But, I mean,
Yeah,
you
because
have,
the
like,
power toughness checks all
Phyrexian,
zones. So it
whatever
needs, like,
is.
scavenge or something to make it, like, even useful. But you don't really want to be doing that for the most part anyway.
Yeah, where this gets mostly played in EDH is the Mimeoplasm deck.
Oh, the Mimoplasm. Mimeo?
Also, Mimeo. But also, no.
Mimeoplasm.
Mimeoplasm?
This thing?
Yeah.
Look at the guy on the stairs for scale.
Oh,
Yeah.
excuse me, I've cut away, but look at
Yeah,
Virals.
Virals is definitely playable in Highlander.
Yeah. I don't know about... I think the scavenge effect is actually, like...
You don't actually care. It's extra text, and it happens sometimes, but you're really running this in, like, black mold.
Oh, I
And
would
it
never
just-
run this in Black Mold. There are better 3-drops.
This thing just never dies, though.
Very true. I've noticed... Okay, one of the cards that's absolutely been pulling twice or 3 times its weight in every deck that I played it in is Yavimaya Hollow.
Oh, yeah.
This card is disgusting. Like, it's so good.
Regenerate target creature.
Yeah, it's a legendary land that comes in untapped, but it taps for colorless only. And it has green tap regenerate target creature. This card is too good.
Yeah.
It's
hey, it's
extremely
reserved
strong.
list.
And you can get it in foil and paper, too.
It's not possible?
You can.
Oh, you can? Let's go.
Yeah,
What?
'cause it's in the same set that Polychrom was in, which I forget which Urza set that is. So you're able to get it in foil.
Destiny.
Yeah, Urza's
Yeah,
Destiny.
Destiny.
so Destiny all comes in foil. So you can get your foil Rectors, you can get your foil Yavimaya Hollows,
Wow.
foil Polychrom.
It's on the reserve list, so the foil one must be, like...
It's like
very
$60
pricey.
right now, I think. It's like 60 or 70
Yeah.
US.
Yavimaya Hollow is really good for games that go any length other than short, because...
TCG player foil, market price, $336.
This is why you never trust TCG player and look in other places, like Europe.
It's very expensive.
I thought it was a lot less than that. I thought it was somewhere up around the 70-80 range. Then maybe just the regular copy now after the buyout, because that did happen.
It's,
You used to be able to
like
get it for about
25 regular.
Yeah, that's what I thought. And then the foil would be about 60 or like 70 or 80. That was my assumption. Because that's what I last saw it going for in the Facebook high-end group. So
That's fair.
Yeah, huh? Anyway, because
I can't
this
imagine
effect is
they're-
so cheap, it's absurd. It costs basically nothing. Stacy, like Alex Stacy, plays this in Black Mold, and has, I believe, since the first build of Black Mold, but I don't think that's the ideal home for it. I think this card belongs in some sort of, like, mid-range
Mid-range
list.
home? Yeah.
I can sure tell you, midrange does not like playing against that card.
I lost
Oh my
track of
god,
time.
no.
Sorry about that.
Hello.
It blanks most of their removal.
Ah, fuck.
Very true. Very true.
Unless you're white based, it blanks all your removal.
Oof. Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Path and swords delete it. So
Path
That's what I
and
said,
Swords
unless you're in
delete.
white.
Yeah, exactly. If you're not playing white, you're screwed.
There are effects in black that get around it, but they're a lot harder to.
I mean,
Snuff Out says can't be regenerated, I believe.
yeah.
Well, there's
about-
can't be regenerated. There's -X, and there's sacrifice effect.
Yeah,
like
but
edicts will leave
Yeah.
whatever you target, but if you're playing an aggro deck, the edict isn't.
Yeah,
going
the edict is just like gain 4 life or something.
yeah, the edict is not as good against aggro as it could be. Yes. Snuff
There we
Out.
go. Now I
It
can
can't be
hear you.
regenerated.
All right, we're all good. Sorry about that. I didn't. Time
Absolutely
kind of
no
flew
problem.
by there.
So, we've got a couple new people in here. What have you guys been exploring recently in the vein of Highlander?
Bad
Any-
cards.
Bad
Many
cards.
things.
Been trying to put together Jeskai A plus BCs, which
Ah,
is just every A plus B combo.
Nice, nice.
I hope that works out.
Like small Emrakul with rights and gifts to find it.
Wait. You're playing, like, the janky A plus B combos.
Yeah, yeah.
You're not just playing the good ones, you're playing all of them.
Like the good ones and the medium ones.
Wow.
The reason why it's small Emrakul is also so I can Nihiri it out.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
While having it in the graveyard. A bunch of twin stuff. Sahili and Cat.
Yeah,
Uh,
no, Sahili Rai and Felidar Guardian is, like, I can't believe that ever got printed.
Into standard, yeah.
Right?
It was crazy.
I'd say standard is more so the issue than it ever being printed, frankly.
Yeah, no, in modern it's like not good.
My only issue is they printed the combo in the same block.
In the same block, yeah.
That's insane. How do you let that slip past where you're like, oh, whoops, in the same block we happen to print an infinite combo that wins you the game.
Yeah,
I think
it's
Kaladesh
been
was just a cluster that they screwed up on entirely.
yeah, they
Kaladesh has some really
miscosted
cool
it.
cards in it, but yeah.
Yeah, they miscosted energy. They printed Walking Ballista, which is
They
an
printed
absurd
Walking
card.
Ballista.
Walking Ballista is actually okay. That wasn't actually a mistake, unlike most of the rest.
No,
of
it's just insanely powerful for vintage and modern and I think legacy.
Legacy.
Does Legacy
went
care?
down.
Yeah.
Oh,
Does a lot.
wow. Yep.
It likes, like, a lot of decks like Walking Ballista, not because it's Walking Ballista, but because it's just a way to spend X mana and kill someone without requiring color.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah,
why,
that's what makes it so good. It's
and that's
incredibly
why-
flexible and does not lock you into colors.
Yeah,
Sorry.
and that's why Legacy likes it, because in Food Chain it does explicitly say you can only use Food Chain mana to cast creatures. So having the infinite creature when you
So yeah,
does-
you get your
Right.
Fireball.
yeah, you
Oh,
fireball them with a ballista. So
Yeah, you just generate 40 mana and you like kill you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
And
just
if they've
do.
got Leyline, you just attack.
Yeah.
What's the combo? You do like Food Chain and then
Mist Hollow Griffin.
yeah, Mist Hollow Griffin. That's the one I was thinking.
Yeah.
Or the
Or
Scourge.
yeah, Eternal Scourge.
Hollow Griffin, because it's really weird contextually, but it makes sense, is that the ability to pitch a Force Will is good because it leaves your outlet in a place where no one else can touch it.
Yeah.
Because it's an exile. Cast Scorch from exile and just start doing the thing.
There's also a couple very unique cards that tutor into exile. I believe you.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
don't play it.
they're
Like, they play it in like competitive EDH, Food Chain Tazri, but like they don't. They definitely don't play it in Legacy. I forget
Yeah.
the names, but there are some that are like, look through your deck, take 2 or 3 cards, and exile.
yeah.
them.
There's two. They do the same thing.
Oh, it's the ones that are meant to be like thin out your deck. Yeah.
They're not very good at that.
No, they were bad. Bad cards. I have matches.
Alright, sweet.
Is
I have-
everybody
Okay.
excited?
Ooh, I should open Xmage.
I have
Yeah,
been,
that's a thing you should do.
Oh.
I've been experimenting with how many draft uncommons I can fit in a Death and Taxes list.
The answer is a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
DT is... can we talk about Death and Taxes really quickly? Like, I'm gonna put up the matches, and while you guys get into matches, can we talk about Death and
Oh
Taxes?
god, I love my deck so much.
Death and
It's
Taxes is, like, just stupid.
It's
Just
so hard to
actually
fuck up.
dumb.
Yeah.
It's a very simple premise.
It's so hard to do wrong.
I'm going to make you play fair magic while I play unfair magic.
Yeah.
No, it's you play fair magic while you play fairer magic.
Exactly. You play fair magic, and you force your opponent to play fairest magic.
Fair magic, except everything costs 1 more.
Exactly.
Well, here goes nothing.
But yeah,
Alright.
for me, I play Legacy Death and Taxes, so that's like one of the things that I do a lot. It's kind of interesting.
Well, go to your game.
Yep, I'm going.
Good luck. Oh, he's like still here. There we go. So yeah, as we're gonna get some games started real soon. Until then, I might as well run down like what Canadian Highlander is real quick. So okay. First of all, the game that we're gonna watch is Arterian Legacy at Coinman. So I'll run down a couple things about Canadian Highlander. It's a 100 card singleton format, so that means that you can only have one card, like one card with a given name in your deck, so you can't run more than one of any given card. It's a 1v1 competitive format, which means players start at 20 life. And when you get down to 0 life, you die. There's a special mulligan rule, so you draw 7 cards to begin with, and then if you want to mulligan, you can mulligan once, draw 6 cards, and then you can mulligan and get a second 6, and then your first 5, and then your second 5, and then your first 4, and your second 4, on and on and on. This is done so that the format is more, like, consistent, because if we didn't do that, it would be so easy to grab hands that are just complete garbage, and there's nothing you can do about it. So we're going to get into our first match here. Arterian Legacy is on Mardu Lifegain, which is a really hot list that I believe Jeremy White came up with. Versus Coinman, who is returning on Doomsday yet again. I believe he's on Doomsday Storm as well. So, for those of you who don't know what the combo with Doomsday is, Doomsday is a black card? Yeah, it's a black card that costs triple black, and here, I'll cut over to the card viewer. It's a black card, it costs triple black, and it says... People are playing lands in our game. Doomsday. Ah! There we go. Amonkhet Innovate. Oh, that's ugly. Let's not. Magic Online programs? That's a lot better. Search your library and graveyard for 5 cards and exile the rest. Put the chosen cards on top of your library in any order. You lose half your life, rounded up. So, you get to order your library exactly how you want to. Oops. Ah! I lost. You know, it's fine. You get to order your library however you want to, and then play a combo out of that. So Coinman opens with a tapped Watery Grave. That's one of the big advantages of playing Shocks. An untapped Watery Grave, which he paid 2 for. Shocks come in really fast, but they're a lot more flexible than people give them credit for. Like, if you need mana right then, you can pay the 2 for the Shock. But if you don't, they can come in tap and be fine. They're one of the best land cycles I'm pretty sure that has ever been printed. It goes like duels at the very top, original duels that were just normal lands with both land types that enter untapped, and then fetches. You see he plays the shock land tapped there. And then fetches. And then I'm pretty sure it's just shocks right under that. I might be missing one, but that feels about right to me. Tyrion Legacy plays the Godless Shrine tapped. So we know our Tyrion Legacy is, like, he's on this Mardu Lifegain list. And it's a mid-range list, I'm pretty sure. So he's probably fine just playing some tap lands to start the game. Coinman on Doomsday here, he's really trying to ramp out as fast as he can for the first few turns, and then once he gets to later turns, he's just going to be able to, like, cast Doomsday and then immediately win the game. The big combo with Doomsday that most people play is Laboratory Maniac, and then some number of draw spells. So, shout out to 404 for making all the art for this stream. It's really nice. So, Lab Man or Laboratory Maniac is... Oh, goodness gracious, I'm an angry boy. There we go. This is fine. This is fine. This is fine. Laboratory Maniac, he's a 3-mana, 2/2 blue human wizard. If you would draw a card while your library has no cards in it, you win the game instead. So normally if you have no cards in your library, obviously, and you try to draw a card, you lose the game. Doomsday reduces your library down to only 5 cards. So if you're forced to draw a card some way, while your library has nothing in it, you just lose the game on Doomsday. So one of the biggest goal with Doomsday is cast a Lab Man, right? Get it out on the battlefield, and then wheel through these 5 cards as fast as you possibly can. And then, because you have Lab Man, you just straight up win the game. Out comes Candelabra of Tawnos. So the other combo that Coinman is playing in Doomsday is the High Tide combo. High Tide is a really, like, genuinely cool combo. Excuse me for a second while I ruin everything that has ever existed. High Tide is a genuinely sweet combo. Oh good. Oh no. Look, Xmage, like, OBS is not a perfect program. Here we go. Do the thing, please. No, not that. Do the thing? Yeah, let's go. So High Tide is... It's 1 blue for an instant until end of turn. Whenever a player taps an island for mana, whenever a player, so not just you, but your opponent, taps an island for mana, that player adds blue to his or her mana pool. An extra blue. So, the key with the High Tide combo is you get things like Candelabra of Tawnos, which is just pay X, untap X separate lands. So what you can do is you have, like, I don't know, 6 islands. You tap all 6 islands, you float 12 blue mana, you pay 6 on Candelabra of Tawnos, and you tap another 12 blue mana. There are a ton of other effects. Merchant Scroll, that's probably going to go find High Tide, if I were to guess. So there are a ton of spells that you can cast after you cast the High Tide that cost a bunch, but untap a certain number of lands. But because your lands tap for 2 blue rather than just 1, you generate a lot of extra mana off of each one of them. So the end of the High Tide combo is typically using a tutor effect, like Merchant Scroll, to find Tendrils of Agony, which... Oh, goodness. Here we go. That's High Tide. Let me find you Tendrils. So Tendrils of Agony, it's a 2 black sorcery, not an instant. Target player loses 2 life and you gain 2 life with Storm. So whenever you cast a spell, copy it for each spell cast before this turn. You may choose new targets for the copies. So you basically play a bunch of spells that untap your lands, untap a ton of lands, and then cast Tendrils of Agony and have it copy itself a lethal number of times. So interestingly, the Merchant Scroll there found Gush. Gush is one of the ways that you can pop a High Tide pile. So you draw 2 cards, essentially for free by returning islands to your hand. So when you put down Doomsday, you can crack into it with Gush to return, or to like draw into your Gush pile, or into your Doomsday pile, and then just win the game. Arterian Legacy casts out Fiery Confluence. He chooses, I believe, let's see the modes. Destroy target artifact, and doming him for 2. So, taking out this Candelabra of Tawnos and the Dimir Signet really hurts Coinman. Coinman casts Swan Song, which counters the Fiery Confluence, and Arterian just concedes the game. He scoops there. And that's a fair scoop. And the reason that he's done that is because Candelabra of Tawnos is really very, very important to High Tide, and without being able to destroy the Candelabra of Tawnos, like without the Candelabra of Tawnos destroyed, Coinman is almost guaranteed to be able to go off with High Tide, and Arterian has no way of interacting with that combo other than destroying those artifacts, and because that got countered, he doesn't really have a choice. Coinman would just go off the next turn and win the game. Especially with Gush in hand. He could, High Tide out for a little bit and then find Doomsday and just win there. And that's one of the advantages in 100 card Singleton. Most combo decks play more than one combo. There's Shambling Vent. Goes out tapped. Most of them play more than one combo in them. And the reason that they do that is just to increase consistency. If you can have multiple combos, then one may be vulnerable to a certain type of interaction, like Exile in the Graveyard or powerful discard spells, but the other one might be vulnerable to different types of interaction, and depending on, what your opponent has out, you can pick which combo you want to go for at the time. We didn't really get to see a lot of the life gain interaction in the life gain deck yet, but Shambling Vent is certainly a very good start. The life link and the fact that it's a 2/3 is so obnoxious. Like, this is secretly the worst card to get played against you in Hate Bears, because it blocks all of your Hate Bears and they gain just a ton of life. It's also obnoxious in aggro, because again, you gain a ton of life for essentially free. Arterian Legacy, still not playing anything on his main step. So no creatures turn 2. Coinman played a basic island. I'm excited to see how Coinman's gonna try to finesse the victory here. Staying on the upkeep. So if you're Arterian Legacy here, the way you win this game is something that interacts either with High Tide or... Ooh, there's Sensei's Divining Top. Either with High Tide or with Doomsday in some way. So if you can, mill them 5 or something like that, you can beat the Doomsday pile. Arterian is in colors that have no counterspells. He is not playing any blue. So, for a reminder, Mardu is red, white, black. Other ways that Arterian could effectively interact: Artifact Discretion. Oh my god. Okay, so here's Hide Seek. This is one of the coolest cards that gets played in Highlander. Hide is a red-white instant, put target artifact or enchantment on the bottom of its owner's library. Yeah, whatever. It gets rid of artifacts and enchantments, that's really useful. Seek, instant, black-white, search target opponent's library for a card and remove it from the game. You gain life for equal to its converted mana cost, then the player shuffles his or her library. So, Hide is fine. It's just a good card. You can tuck artifacts or enchantments that really destroy you. Seek, on the other hand, pretty bad in most circumstances. Insane against a combo deck. Seek is some pretty hot tech against, for example, there's a pretty prevalent combo that Blue Moon plays, which is, and I'll pull it up for you. So they go Madcap Experiment, which is this, like, you know, jank rare from Kaladesh. It's 3 in a red. You reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal an artifact card. Put that card onto the battlefield and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Madcap Experiment deals damage to you equal to the number of cards revealed this way. Right? So you basically flip cards until you get to an artifact, and it deals damage to you and puts that artifact onto the battlefield. Now, Blue Moon typically doesn't play that many artifacts, but it does play Platinum Empyrean, which is the only artifact in the deck, and it says your life total can't change. So you play out High Tide. High Tide? Jeez Louise. Whoa, I need more coffee. You play out Madcap Experiment, you flip a ton of cards until you flip Platinum Empyrean. Platinum Empyrean goes on the battlefield, and then when it would deal damage to you, it doesn't because Platinum Empyrean's out. And then you get an 8/8 for the 4, essentially. If you Seek in response to this, they just go, well, I don't have a Platinum Empyrean anymore, and just lose the game. Arterian Legacy chooses to Seek and get rid of Tendrils. So there goes the main win con, one of the main win cons of the deck. Coinman can no longer win with High Tide. He has to win with Doomsday and the Lab Man, because Tendrils of Agony is the only Storm card that he plays for the kill. Glorybound Initiate. I love this card, by the way. I've been playing this in aggro. It's a 2-mana 3/1, but you can exert it when it attacks, and it becomes a 4/4 with lifelink for 2. Oh my god. This card is so unspeakably good. You just swing in for 3 over and over again, and then as soon as they put up any meaningful blocks, you exert him. Oh, I love Glorybound Initiate. It's a very, very powerful card. Recently printed too in Amonkhet. Swings for 3. Yep. And you never have to exert Glorybound because you're just getting in for 3. Arterian casts Bitter Blossom. Oh, that is brutal. So Bitter Blossom is this 1 in a black enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, you lose a life and make a token. And that gets Swansonged. I didn't show you what Swansong was before, by the way. Swansong, counter target enchantment, instant, or sorcery spell. Its controller puts a 2/2 blue bird creature token with flying onto the battlefield. So if we go over and take a look at Bitter Blossom. So the reason that this is really powerful is because at every upkeep, you just rip another token, and it gets out of control really very quickly if you can't deal with the Bitter Blossom. Sensei's Divining Top. This is a really powerful filtering effect. Basically, it's a 1-mana artifact. You can look at the top 3 cards of your library and put them back in any order, and you can tap to draw a card, then put it back on top of its owner, and put Sensei's Divining Top on its owner's library. So, a couple things about this. A, it's pretty much invincible to artifact hate, because you just activate the second ability and put it on the top of your library. And B, you can activate the second ability in response to the first ability. So you activate the first ability and look at the top 3 cards of your library and then put them back in any order. It goes on the top of the stack. Then you activate the second ability, put Sensei's Divining Top on top of your library, draw a card, and then you look at the top 3 cards of your library, including Sensei's Divining Top, and you can put it in way lower to get cards that you want off the top of your library. This is probably one of the most powerful filtering artifacts, probably the most powerful filtering artifact ever printed. It used to be points, it used to be points on the points list, but it's not anymore. Sensei's Divining Top is a really powerful turn 1 play for a combo deck. Sharon just swinging out with Glorybound and Bird. Both of them go unblocked. Coinman goes to 12. So remember, High Tide is no longer a valid option because he doesn't have tendrils anymore. But Doomsday is still an option that Coinman can go for. He doesn't have any black right now, and you need triple black to cast Doomsday. But if he casts Doomsday, he loses half his life rounded up, which really isn't a problem. But Arterian Legacy has burn spells and is applying pressure. So if Coinman goes to like 6, when he casts Doomsday, he's going to go to 3 because you lose half your life, and then Arterian could have Bolt, Lightning Helix, like Chain Lightning, all of these cards that deal 3 damage that just, well, not Chain Lightning is a sorcery, but all these cards that deal 3 damage at instant speed that could just kill him, and then it would be over. Coinman casts Mox Diamond. The old wording is so weird. Basically, it's a 0 mana artifact. When it comes into play, you have to discard a land. And then it taps for 1 mana of any color. Ooh, Pyroclasm. 2 damage to each creature. That's going to get both the bird and the Glorybound Initiate. Brutal. So Mox Diamond is really powerful because it's this fast mana effect. That just lets you get more mana quicker. It's one of the non-traditional Moxen. So the Moxen are just 0 mana artifacts that tap for a color. Oh, Kolaghan's Command. Choose 2. Return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Target player discards a card. Destroy target artifact. Or deal 2 damage to target creature or player. Shock. Kolaghan's Command is going to return Glorybound Initiate to the hand and destroy Mox Diamond. Interesting that he chooses to destroy Mox Diamond, but it's a fair play. Mox Diamond can generate black mana, which Coinman needs to do if he wants to win this game. And destroying the Mox Diamond is going to set him back 1 black mana of the 3 that he needs. Plus, when we return that Glorybound Initiate and untap, we can then immediately cast the Glorybound Initiate and have threat, have pressure on the board still going. Doesn't look like Arterian's going to do anything with his 1 mana. Yep, just leave it up. If you're Coinman here, it's a very difficult task. It's a nearly Herculean task to win this game. Because like you're essentially stuck. It's very difficult to find, it's very difficult to A, find Doomsday, and B, find the black mana needed to cast it, and that Mox Diamond getting destroyed might be the final nail in the coffin. Because, I mean, I can check the list. I believe Coinman runs, Dark Ritual, which would let him generate 3 black for free. But, and he does run Dark Ritual. But it costs black mana, and if you can't get the black mana, you're screwed. Like you just can't cast Doomsday. So let me pull up. Oops. Excuse me for a moment. There we go. My card display app is real weird. Also, thanks for 404 for making that. That was really nice. So there's Dark Ritual. It costs the black mana, and without the Mox Diamond out to generate black mana, there's no way that he could cast a Dark Ritual, get the 3 black, and then cast Doomsday. Flooded Strange. Another notable thing about Doomsday, you lose half your life rounded up, so if you're at 1 life, you just die. Like you just die and you lose the game. So Arterian is trying to, kind of banking on, Kalitas. Banking on trying to play, get as much damage onto Coinman as he possibly can to lower that life total. Coinman impulses in response. Notably, there's been functional errata since this printing. You look at the top 4 cards of your library, put one of them in your hand and the rest of them on the bottom of your library, but you no longer shuffle. It was decided that shuffling was stupid and shouldn't have been on there in the first place. So he impulses, and then he's going to activate Sensei's Divining Top to look at the top 3. Presumably, he is searching for a 1-mana counterspell, some answer. If he finds it with Sensei's Divining Top, he can tap the top, pull it off the top of the library, put top back on top, and then counter Kalitas, because A, it's a lifelink creature, right, which is really annoying against most decks, but not really against Doomsday. If a non-certain creature an opponent controls would die, instead you exile it and make a zombie, and for 2 and a black and sacrifice another vampire or zombie, you can put 2 counters on Kalitas. So, against combo, I don't think this card is particularly obnoxious. Against mid-range, or aggro, or Crater Hoof, or something like that, where they have a bunch of these, small creatures, Kalitas is extremely frustrating to deal with, because they go, Kalitas. I don't know if that's how it's actually pronounced, but they go like Kalitas, and then they pass the turn, and then they'll kill like 3 or 4 of your things, and make a ton of zombies. Which, unsurprisingly, is really hard to deal with. Essentially, they 2-for-1 you, because they get a creature, and they destroy your creature. It's like drawing a card, but, not. They 2-for-1 you, because they get a creature. Oh, excuse me, I went over to my own Twitch channel, and just didn't even think about it. I got a Razor Synapse update, check that out. I had a request in chat to ask for hands, which I totally could. Request permission to see hand cards. You see, this is why I need a co-host. There we go. So we're looking at Arterian Legacy's hands. He got Lightning Bolt, Fatal Push, and Gideon Ally of Zendikar in hand. Oh, Coinman didn't say yes. Oh, come on, man. Don't hold out on me. Oh, well. Well, we know what's in Arterian Legacy's hand. He's got ways to interact with creatures, and he does have that Lightning Bolt. So if Coinman casts Doomsday, if either of these 2 creatures get in before Doomsday is cast, Arterian Legacy can cast a Lightning Bolt and dome Coinman for enough to kill him. Oh, I'm receiving a phone call. Well, I'm not receiving a phone call. My family's receiving a phone call. Really, Coinman just said no. That's brutal. Member of the coverage team, and he destroys me like that. So, Coinman didn't activate the Sensei's Divining Top draw after that impulse there, which makes me think that he either has 3 cards that he really wants on top of his library, but he doesn't want them now, or he's looking for something else. Underground Sea. That's a way to generate black mana, either blue or black. Mystical Tutor. Search your library for an instant sorcery card, shuffle your library. Oh, Coinman's going to try to go off this turn. Finds High Tide. Interesting. Does he have a separate win con? I haven't even taken a look, does he? It's not looking like it. How is he expecting to win? He's certainly got a lot of Storm cards, but there's no way he can get back the Tendrils from exile. We might find out, though. Time Spiral. Yep. So we cast the High Tide. Over here's the stuff in mana pools, by the way. So we cast the Time Spiral, which will recycle everybody's hands. So Arterian gets access to this new hand here. But I don't think it really matters. Coinman. So after the resolution of that Time Spiral, we should see Coinman choosing to untap all his lands. So now he has access to 6, 7, 8 mana in some form, 6 of which has to be, well, okay, Not 6. 5 of which has to be blue. Tapping a couple islands. So if you look over Windfall, each player discards his or her hand and draws cards equal to the number. Is Coinman trying to cycle through 100 cards to place down? That would be insane. New cards for Arterian, but again, I don't think it really matters. So if you look over here, these are the mana pools. Coinman is floating 1 blue at the moment. Let's see, though. Taps Underground Sea for a black, so he's floating blue and black. Casts Cabal Ritual, generating more black. Black, 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 black. Yeah, he adds 5 black to his mana pool. So he's over at 5 black and 1 blue. Night's Whisper. Draws 2 cards. Loses 2 life. Let's see. Coinman goes to 6. After that, Night's Whisper. Let's see. He's at 3 blue and 3 black. 4 blue, 1 red, 3 black. Casts Frantic Search. Draw 2 cards, then choose and discard 2 cards. Untap up to 3 lands. So you actually go down on card advantage when you cast Frantic Search, but I'm pretty sure the High Tide deck doesn't care. A, because he's got 7 cards in hand. And B, because it's untapping lands. This is more a mana generation spell than it is a draw spell. But it is kind of nice to get a little bit of filtering as you get into it. I made coffee this morning with what's his face? With heavy whipping cream in it. Oh my god, that's so good. Y'all ever had butter coffee? That is just delicious stuff. Okay. So Coinman's got 6 cards in hand, 2 of which have been filtered in. I don't know what he dumped off. Let's see. Whoop. He dumped, looks like a couple of lands off that Frantic Search. Casts Mana Vault. Here. Mana Vault has a lot of text on it. Essentially, it's a 1-mana artifact that taps for 3 colorless mana. At the beginning of your upkeep, if it's tapped, it deals 1 damage to you. Doesn't untap during your untap phase, and you can pay 4 to untap it. Let's see, Mana Vault. That's going to take him up to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 mana. Merchant Scroll. If this Merchant Scroll finds Doomsday, Coinman might just win here. He doesn't have enough black. He's got 1 black. Let's see, though. He's searching his library for a blue instant card. Well, you actually can't find Doomsday with Merchant Scroll. I'm an idiot. Merchant Scroll finds specifically blue instants. So, what is this Merchant Scroll finding? Time Spiral shuffled the graveyard into the library. So, Merchant Scroll might be finding High Tide again? And with multiple High Tides works exactly like you think multiple High Tide works. It just generates more mana off of each land. This Merchant Scroll's just kind of resolving right now. Coinman's tanking a little bit, thinking about what he wants to do. I don't know how he wins. Because, I mean, if you look here, I know this is such an obnoxious piece of the Xmage, like, font or user interface. This is the storm count. It's just a number. It's just kind of sitting here. So, again, when we looked over at Tendrils of Agony, which is helpfully in this little box over here. Storm, whenever you play the spell, copy it for each spell played before it this turn. Each spell played before it this turn is this number. So Merchant Scroll finds Mystical Tutor, which I'm gonna assume he then immediately casts. Mystical Tutor finds an instant or sorcery and puts it on top. So Mystical Tutor is a way that Coinman can find Doomsday. Again, still no black. Oh, hello.
Hey,
Hey,
did
what's
I just
up?
hear still no black? Because
Yeah.
that's how my games mostly went.
Oh, your games are already over?
Yeah, Mr. Chillin'
Mind's
too.
Desire. Really, Mind's Desire. This is the other Storm card. I mean, Mind's Desire for 10 is pretty brutal, but it might not even win in the game. In the booth with me right now, I have Tulip and let me go back over to Discord. Tulip and 404. And that game was Abzan Midrange versus this white-black Monarch Control list.
Yeah.
Looks like no black. Lost the game.
No black first game. Second game, Lingering Souls ate my.
Ooh.
Did a fancy play with targeted discard and mana denial, and then he drew the white source for Lingering Souls. So
We're watching the Arterian Legacy Coinman game. Coinman is going off, but I don't know how he's going to win. So, Storm Count is 11. He just cast an Ideas Unbound, which is a super janky card from, like, oh my god, Kamigawa block? It's blue for an arcane sorcery. Draw 3 cards, discard 3 cards at the end of turn. Mind's Desire. Alright. So Mind's Desire is going to start getting copied. And we're going to see what flips off of Mind's Desire. So Mind's Desire, you shuffle your library, remove the top card of your library from the game, and then you can play it as though it were in your hand without paying its mana cost. So you can cast it without paying its mana cost.
until end of turn. No.
Until end of turn, right.
Necro, Mystic Remora, a
Uh,
tutor, which
so-
good with Necro.
Necropotence, skip your draw phase whenever you discard a card, remove the card from the game, pay 1 life, and you can... It's such a weird text. Pay 1 life, essentially, draw a card at the end of turn. Mystic Remora, Personal Tutor, Dig Through Time, Lake of the Dead? Sacrificing
Mox
a sword.
Diamond,
Mox
very
Diamond.
relevant.
So, Lake of the Dead can generate black. Personal Tutor can go find Doomsday. So I'm thinking we're going to see a win here from Coinman, actually.
Yeah, this looks like a win with the Mox Diamond, the lands. It is
Yeah.
play, so
Yeah.
plenty of mana coming off of this.
Has he played his land this turn? I actually have no idea. Well, regardless, he's floating 2 black. If he goes Mox Diamond, he can generate that 3rd black. He has no blue mana. So he better hope he has a
Well,
land
Mind's
drop.
Desire, you don't have to pay mana for, right?
Oh, yeah.
For the spells.
So we can
which
cast
is
a
why
Personal
it's
Tutor for
good.
free.
Yeah, Personal Tutor Necropotence finds him anything he needs, and Imperial Seal as well.
Yeah, I think he's probably
So
gonna
he's
go
got
for
any instant sorcery, and also any card.
Mox Diamond. So I'm gonna take a wild guess and say that's tapping for black. Well, he can just go Imperial Seal, Dig Through Time. He doesn't even need Necropotence.
No.
Yeah. So we're probably gonna see Personal Tutor, Dig Through Time, and then
Mystic Remora first. Interesting.
Arterian Legacy has no free things in his hand, but I mean why not? What do you have to lose? Right?
Yeah.
You're going off if he has some sort of free
Black-White
effect.
has no relevant ones. Snuff Out is the one that comes to mind, but
Snuff Out's not relevant.
yeah. Not here.
Not here, at least, no. I actually showed Snuff Out earlier. Check me out. It's
What's
it's
the
like I'm
white
doing
card?
coverage or something.
Yeah.
Let's see.
So I'm thinking one of the tutors comes down next.
Yeah. I'm gonna guess Personal Tutor, because he probably doesn't want to lose too much life and go to 2 off of Doomsday.
Yeah.
Nope! I was dead wrong! Imperial
Ooh.
Seal.
Well, this is getting... We're seeing the win, I
This
think,
is getting
but
Doomsday.
This is getting interesting.
Like, if this doesn't get Doomsday, I'm gonna eat my hat. By the way, the storm count is 15. The reason that this isn't getting 10
Yeah.
is because it was exiled with
It was-
Hide Seek.
Ooh.
Right? Hot tech.
Definitely a good use of that card.
Yeah. Let's see. So, I don't know how I feel about Arterian Legacy. Because he cast Seek pretty much as soon as he possibly could. I think it would be kind of more of a blowout to cast Seek and go get, you know, Nab High Tide or Nab Doomsday or whatever. And again, like I was talking about earlier, the reason that these 100-card singleton decks play... I'm going to get rid of the Mind's Desire now, by the way. One of the reasons that these 100-card singleton decks play multiple combos is, like I said before, High Tide, vulnerable to Hide Seek. If you Hide Seek away Storm, or if you Hide Seek away Tendrils of Agony, they just lose the game.
Yeah.
But they still have Doomsday. They still have the other win available.
Yeah, they've still got Doomsday, they've still got Labman, sometimes Aetherflux Reservoir, as we saw last week.
Ooh, that card is brutal. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like that's some real jank that somehow makes it in. Mox Diamond
I mean,
doesn't tap for black, or no?
Mox
Diamond
Diamond
taps for blue.
tapping.
What
Candelabra.
is happening? Candelabra of Tawnos? Well, that's gonna let him generate a couple extra mana. Pay the 1 blue off of Candelabra. He pays black for the Candelabra trigger. Wow. Candelabra of Tawnos is out. He activates Candelabra of Tawnos on 2, presumably untapping Underground Sea and Steam Vents.
Is there a High Tide in effect?
Yes.
Okay.
A High Tide's
so
been in effect for like 10 minutes. Which is really funny to me. Whoops.
Targeting Underground Sea and Island.
Yep. So he's gonna get
So that's
1
4
black.
more mana.
Coinman's at 4. He didn't find Doomsday with either of those tutors off of the Mind's Desire. Well, I think he does have 1 more tutor.
Personal tutor is happening now.
Yeah,
and then
he gets
dig through
personal
time.
tutor off the Mind's Desire, which is fair.
And it looks like he's probably made his land drop here already. He could be holding it,
seems so.
but
Seems so.
but I don't see why you wouldn't play Lake of the Dead and
Yeah, Lake of the Dead
and
find
untap
High
it.
Tide. Yeah, you just win the game there.
Yeah.
Personal tutor finds Git Probe. What?
Interesting.
Dig Through Time grabs Git Probe off the top. What is happening?
Well, Git Probe and one other card, but
So Gitaxian Probe is it's a
banned in Modern.
banned in Modern. You can draw a card. You look at a target player's hand, which is not the important text, but you can draw a card at sorcery speed for free, because the Phyrexian mana can play
for 2
life.
life.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, Coinman is at 4 here.
Yeah. There's another card that costs 1 Phyrexian blue that's also banned in Modern.
Yeah. Not so
Mental
great in our
Misstep.
format, but
Well, Mental Misstep is actually surprisingly powerful in Canadian Highlander. You should just ask
yeah, but
Arterian.
it is powerful, but it's not
bad.
as powerful as it would be in, you know,
Laboratory
Legacy
Maniac?
or Modern.
No way.
What?
He still has 55 cards in his library. No, is he gonna cast like Demonic Consultation and name a card that's not there? Oh my god! There it is! Demonic Consultation. Name a card.
And then
reveal-
Necropotence for the... Wait, no, Necropotence
Git
does
Probe.
not say draw a card.
Oh my
Git Probe.
god!
Wow. That...
Wow! He finagled that one out of nowhere. And that's it. That's 2-0 for Coinman.
Wow.
What a turn of events! Goodness gracious. Well, let's...
Yeah.
Hello, Coin Man. That was insane.
The no tendrils win.
That was
Off of Mind's
insane.
Desire and Lapman.
So, as it
Thank
looks
you.
like all of our games are finishing up, I'm going to switch to the rounds.
Yeah.
That was silly.
So, can I get some match results from you people?
I won 2-0.
2-1.
Oh, that's... Oh, you guys saying that out loud is useless to me.
I put it in the chat.
Yeah, it's in chat.
Oh.
Well,
Ugh.
that was brutal. How did you get around the Seek? How did you finagle that one? Like, how did you figure that one out? Tell me your thought
Literally,
process.
because I drew into the demonic consultation. Off of ideas about drew into demonic consultation, so I was able to get the candle to untap for the exact amount of mana to personal tutor and dig to get the Git probe.
Ugh.
But yeah, that's Yep, I only have one black source. I'm like, well, gotta go this way. Yeah, I was just surprised that I was able to do anything after bricking off of Mind's Desire for 12.
Hey,
That
could I ask
really
you to please
shouldn't
not
have
do that right now?
gone as well as it did.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was really
yes.
hoping you weren't going to be able to go off that turn. I had a bolt in my hand before you made me shovel it away with that time spiral. I had you dead on board, but you just kind of...
No, yeah, I figured
Well.
you did. It was like, wait, I can go to 6 and then pass. I'm like, nope, no, I can't do that. I very much cannot do that.
Yeah. I was hoping you'd just pass, go to like 3 off my attack, and then as soon as you did something and tapped out, I'd kill you. But alas.
Did anybody else just get booted from Xmage?
No, I'm still in here.
Nope.
Let me
just-
check.
good.
Okay, I'm back.
Oof.
Such quality programming we're playing with here.
Ugh.
Hey, they're smarter than me, so
Yeah.
Ugh. Mm. Ugh.
But yeah, that was an interesting second game. I had no expectation of winning that game 2 at all.
I mean, my hand was also stupid slow.
yep.
It doesn't really have one.
Hey now,
I technically am.
I'm aggro.
Yeah, I am. That felt like a lot. That felt like mid range.
It's a
thought
slow
that,
creature
though.
deck.
Yeah.
Usually I find when it gets to mid to late game, I have to come out earlier. I'm losing.
Like,
And if you go,
Oh, what was the card that
yeah,
I?
and if you go too far into those, then you might as well just play mid-range.
Yeah.
If you try to lean on those kinds of things too hard, you're probably better off just playing mid-range.
I'm sorry I was
Yeah,
muted for the stream. I'm such an idiot. No, it's... I feel bad about that one. Pardon me.
But
Like,
yeah,
I was actually happy playing aggro both last week and the week before that.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's fine.
like I think
Just,
aggro
yeah.
is pretty okay as long as you can make a deck that's able to keep up its threat density, because that's really what matters. Is like not
Yeah.
even discard, it's just
Well, I
for
find...
threat density.
I
then you
find
should
when
be fine.
when I play any aggro deck that doesn't include black, you have to be way faster. Because playing black earns you, essentially, another turn. Like, turn 1 Thoughtseize is, like, one more turn that the black deck gets to play aggro, right? That a red deck doesn't get to do. So, the reason that, like, RDW, red deck wins, gets to go so quickly is because it has this high threat density. And it can just go that fast every game. But any deck, if you're playing like 2-color, you should be playing black, because the extra turn that you get off the disruption is stupidly valuable. All right.
Eh.
All right, we
pretty-
have some
I've-
dissent.
I think any like I feel like I need to have some kind of fast mana to do like exceptionally well, but like I feel like I'd hold up fine even without it, and I'm like white blue with a lot of probably subpar creatures,
Fair enough.
and I find I'm doing okay.
Yeah, it's just really the threat density thing, as I said.
Yeah.
Is without threat density, then aggro really can't do anything. And like as soon as you start playing discard spells, discard isn't really a threat. And I wouldn't
No.
exactly say it gives you time either. It just makes something less available for them. If
I
that
think-
makes any sense. So it doesn't give you time per se. It gives you openings for whatever your plan is intended to be.
Yeah, I think Basta is a really good example of this, because Basta plays a ton of disruption, and Basta doesn't win on turn 4 typically, but it knocks your opponent off balance and then keeps up the pressure.
Yeah.
Like, Basta's less of an actual aggro deck and more of this kind of like disruption-y, mid-rangey, powerful mess. Alright, I'm going to put up match results. Is everybody ready?
Yep.
Is everybody excited?
Yep.
Round 2. Here we go.
Round 2.
Wait.
We just played.
Yeah.
I'm an idiot. Wow. This is the one problem with goodness gracious. Here we go. Let me hold up. Let me fix this. Goodness. See, this is why I should not be both a T. This is why I need a co-host. All right. Here is this better? The second one.
The second one.
Is this better?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, alright, good. Oh, that's a silly mistake that should not have been let through. Oh well. So we're gonna get into some games now. I really want to see I really want to see it's tough because we've got a lot of really exciting decks this week. Let's go watch Slivers. What do we have to lose? Let's go watch Slivers. Let me find the game that Slivers is going to be in. That is not the people playing in this game. So we've got Empty Mage, who is on Slivers. And we've got 404, Error, who is on White Black Control, which he affectionately calls Monarch Control, because of the Monarch effects in the deck. Let's make that. There we go. Let's go. So, Slivers is... I can't help but laugh, because it's a really dorky, stupid archetype. So, the main conceit of each sliver, and we're going to see a couple of them played here, is that every sliver costs some amount of mana and is a creature, and it says slivers have X, or slivers get Y, or when a sliver attacks, it does, XYZ. And so that creature gets that effect, and also all the creatures get that effect. So you get this kind of hive mind feel out of playing it. So 4/4 goes for Mesmeric Fiend. I'm going to remind myself to request permission to see hand cards. Mesmeric Fiend, when it comes into play, target opponent reveals their hand, you choose an online card from it, you remove that card from the game. Oh, Empty Mage. Good start. So we've got Predatory Sliver. Sliver creatures you control get +1/+1. Mana Weft Sliver. Sliver creatures you control tap for 1 mana of any color. Swords to Plowshares, Lightning Helix, Unclaimed Territory, and Shifting Sliver. Slivers can't be blocked except by slivers. So Mesmeric Fiend has to pick just a non-land card. He grabs Mana Weft Sliver. So Mana Weft Sliver is stuck underneath the Mesmeric Fiend. I need to find a good way to... There we go. Perfect. This is... You know what? This is ideal. Yeah. Let me see if I can... Perfect. Empty Mage cracks the Windswept Heath. So we're looking at the sort of hand that could go very quickly. Swords to Plowshares hits Mesmeric Fiend, which will return Mana Weft Sliver to the hand. So Empty Mage, he can go Unclaimed Territory into Mana Weft Sliver or Predatory Sliver. I don't know which one is the correct choice. One of them's going to work better than the other. When we come down here and we look at 4/4's hand, he's got 3 lands and Elspeth Sun's Champion. Predatory Sliver. Sliver creatures you control get +1/+1. That's fair. So Predatory Sliver's a 2/2 for 2. Every other sliver gets bigger. 4/4 can cast Phyrexian Arena, which he will probably do here. Yep. Can I switch hands? No, I can't. Looks like Xmage showing hands kind of works, but also doesn't. So we're over here on 4/4 and his hand. So Phyrexian Arena, draw a card, lose a life at the beginning of your upkeep. Just basic, powerful control mid-range effect. Lets you grind out more and more and more card advantage in black. It's very strong. Mana Weft Sliver. That means that Predatory Sliver can tap for mana next turn. Well, this turn, actually. But could also tap for mana next turn, or whatever. But remember, Mana Weft Sliver can't tap itself at the... when it's just been played, because no haste, obviously. So we look over here to 4/4's hand, and he's got Parallax Wave and Diabolic Edict. So we're gonna see what he casts before I start talking about it. There's a Plains, probably a Parallax Wave, if I was to guess. No, Diabolic Edict. My guesses are not exactly correct. So Diabolic Edict, instant speed, target player sacrifices a creature. So he's got to pick one. Empty Mage sacrifices the Predatory Sliver, and 4/4 passes the turn. So what 4/4 is really trying to do here is grind out card advantage and keep Empty Mage from getting any meaningful threat out until he can cast the Elspeth Sun's Champion. Her +1 is making 3 tokens. It's really hard to beat. Firewake Sliver. All sliver creatures have haste. All sliver creatures have 1 sacrifice this creature. Target sliver gets +2 +2 until end of turn. And we cast Noble Hierarch. So Mana Weft Sliver and Firewake Sliver are both 1/1s. Phyrexian Arena triggers when we draw a Fatal Push, and Rishadan Port. Rishadan Port. This joke has gone too far. Rishadan Port can tap 1 and tap target land, which means you can like keep them off their mana, which I'm guessing 4/4 is gonna do. You know, go to the upkeep of Empty Mage, tap down probably unclaimed territory, because a lot of the slivers are green, and try to keep Empty Mage off of casting his things. He'll still have access to 1 green off of Noble Hierarch, but tapping down the unclaimed territory will help to reduce that. Yeah, and we're going to see the Rishadan Port come out and tap down unclaimed territory. So, one of the 2 creatures that Empty Mage controls is not a sliver. The other one is, but one of them isn't. Empty Mage has access to 2 mana. Yeah, Noble Hierarch and Plateau. He has access to all the colors of mana but black, and up to double white. So we're going to see if he can cast anything. Remember, he probably still has that 4 mana one in his hand. Down comes Tundra. Horn Sliver. Like I was saying, a lot of slivers are green. All slivers have trample. Right? And then swing in for 2. Or swing in for 3. 4/4 goes down to 13 off of that. Yep. Phyrexian Arena triggers. So we might see... Oh my god, what is this card? Toshiro Umezawa. 1 black for a 2/2 with Bushido 1. So whenever it enters combat with another creature, it gets +1/+1. Whenever a creature an opponent controls is put into a graveyard from play, you may play target instant card in your graveyard. If that card would be put in the graveyard this turn, removed from the game instead. What a weird effect. Probably pretty powerful, but what a weird effect. Anguish Unmaking can exile non-land permanents at instant speed. Yeah, we're just going to see the Elspeth Suns champion. It's really hard to deal with Elspeth. Just because, like, she starts at 4, she goes to 5, and she makes 3 1/1s every turn. We're not going to see the Rishadan Port come out. So, because all the slivers have haste, because of Firewake Sliver, it's entirely possible that we see Elspeth die, but I find it really unlikely, just because 3 1/1s. If Empty Mage plays out another sliver, he would have to play out 2 1-mana slivers, and then activate 2 of them to sacrifice him. Oh, unblockable. Shifting Sliver. That's going to get in for the 5 necessary to kill Elspeth. That's really unfortunate. Yeah. Perhaps an obvious error on 404's part, but I don't know. I find it rather hard to blame him. Swings in for 5. Completely unblockable. Yeah, there's just nothing 404 can do about it. Yo, that just sucks. So, how does 404 claw his way back into the game? Because he just lost his main win con. When this Elspeth dies, he loses his main win con. He can go Anguish Unmaking, exile, you know, probably the sliver that makes things unblockable, hold up Rishadan Port, play out Toshiro Umezawa, kill some slivers, play Anguish Unmaking again. I don't know, we'll see. 4/4's at 12. Anguish in Making does bolt you, does hit you for 3. Chainer's Edict. Target player sacrifices a creature. That's just for 1 black, 1 and a black at sorcery speed. I don't know that Chainer's Edict is gonna be the most powerful effect. So we see Parallax Wave. Parallax Wave is this really interesting card from the set with the axe. Let me see if it... NEM? Nemesis? Anyway, it's a 2 white for an enchantment. It has Fading 5, so you remove a counter from it at the beginning of each upkeep. If you can't remove a counter, so when you're at 0 and you try to remove a counter, you exile it, or you just sacrifice it. Yeah, you sacrifice it. You can remove a fade counter from it to exile target creature, and then when it leaves play, like when eventually the fading will run out, when it leaves play, each player returns to the battlefield all cards he or she owns removed from the game with Parallax Wave. So, if you're 4/04 here, you probably want to just Parallax Wave 3 of them, and then Chainer's Edict, forcing him to sacrifice the one that you want to get rid of permanently. Parallax Wave hits Hornsliver, Noble Hierarch, and Firewake Sliver, which you can see down here. So we're going to take those all into exile. Which I'm going to put down here, sure. And then we're going to cast Chainer's Edict and force him to sacrifice the Shifting Sliver. And that's fair. Empty Mage has only 1 card left in his hand. Parallax Wave, the number is unreadable, but it has 2 fading counters on it left. So that guarantees 4/4 at least 3 turns of these cards being in exile before they're going to return to the battlefield. What 4/4 is really looking for here is to stabilize the board. Parallax Wave is doing a great job of that. Anguish on Making is going to do a great job of that. And then he needs to find a win con. All these 1/1s, they can swing in for lethal, for sure. 4/4's at 10, Empty Mage is at 15. Plays out a land. He's left with that 1 card that he had in hand before. We don't know what that is yet. Phyrexian Arena, at the beginning of your upkeep, draw a card, lose 1 life. Parallax Wave goes down to 1 counter, which means that 2 upkeeps from now it'll go away. Oh, 4/4 just drew straight up land off of that. He can play out Toshiro Umezawa and also activate Shambling Vent, which I believe would be an entirely fair strategy. Because that would get him 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 damage on the field. And start placing a clock on Mage. We'll see, though. Again, 4/4 has been drawing 2 cards every turn since the beginning of the game. Well, since he cast the Phyrexian Arena. So he's been grinding out this card advantage. Yeah, he's going to activate Shambling Event, looks like. And that'll, because it has lifelink, it'll gain him some life and start to offset the Phyrexian Arena life lost. Ooh, Empty Mage, Lightning Helix. Hits the Shambling Vent. That is just unfortunate, really. 4/4, look, I don't want to make fun of him, because that's just not nice. But after that Mesmeric Fiend, there was no writing down of the cards left in hand for Empty Mage, because otherwise you never would have activated the Shambling Event. Shambling Event. Wow, also gone too far. Swings out for 3. It looks like we're going to hold up Rishadan Port, and that's, I mean, I'm not mad about that. Parallax Wave is going to go down to 0 counters. No, we're not going to hold up a Rich Import. Just Toshiro Mizawa. And that's fair. You probably want to grind out as much damage as you can now, because the inevitability is this Parallax Wave is going to be sacrificed eventually, and then you're going to have 3 damage coming in with Haste, because of Firework Sliver, and Horn Sliver. Oh. Oh. Cracks the Verdant Catacombs. Empty Mage has no cards in hand. So, like, having these creatures in exile is kinda really bad for him. 4/4 is going to continue drawing 2 cards each turn. He's got 3 soldiers and a Toshiro Umezawa. Once Empty Mage comes out, this Toshiro Umezawa can block anything off of the Parallax Wave, which will let him get back... Pardon me. Which will let him get back Diabolic Edict and Fatal Push. Because remember, whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, Domri Raid. So, once this Parallax Wave triggers with the Toshiro Umezawa, if he swings out, Toshiro blocks the Horn Sliver, and then killing it, which will probably get back Fatal Push, which will push the Noble Hierarch, and then Chainer's Edict, or Diabolic Edict, which will force Empty Mage to sacrifice the Firework Sliver. So he does have solutions with this Toshiro. He does have answers that he can play once this Parallax Wave goes off. But again, 4/4 can have all this mana and have all this powerful stuff, but he doesn't have a win con yet. Draws 2 cards. One of them was land, the other one was Swords to Plowshares. We're probably just going to see 4/4 Anguished Unmaking this Domri Raid and then swing in past it. Like, if I was to guess, it would be an Anguished Unmaking on the Domri Raid and then just swing past the Domri Raid for 5. He might want to hold up mana. No. Parallax Wave is only going to come off next upkeep. A hidden mode of Parallax Wave, by the way, is if you have a Parallax Wave out and your opponent casts a Wrath, you can exile a ton of your creatures, and then at the beginning of your next upkeep, you'll get them all back, and they've wrathed only their guys. So only Toshiro swings out. No. We're gonna go all 3. That's fair. Just a 1/1 hits MC Mage in the dome. No blocks. Because there's no way. And Domri Raid dies. So we know the top card of Empty Mage's library is not a creature because of the Domri Raid ability. Which, I'll remind you. That was... Let's not do that. Look at the top card of your library. If it's a creature card, you may reveal it and put it into your hand. And then there's -2 for a fight or whatever. But we know that the top card is not a creature. Parallax Wave is gonna undo itself here. It's gonna unwave. We're gonna go to the Valley of the Sine Wave, and Parallax Wave is gonna become sacrificed, which will activate the Parallax Wave trigger, and we'll get a ton of stuff back. Specifically, these 3. Firewake, Noble Hierarch, and Hornsliver. Draws on Mishra's Factory and Path to Exile. So... Oh... The problem with Swords to Plowshares, Path to Exile, and Anguish Unmaking in this hand is that Toshiro Umezawa only triggers on a death. Which really sucks, because Swords to Plowshares, Anguish Unmaking, and Path to Exile all sacrifice. He's flashing back Chainer's Edict. For 7? 4, 5, 6, 7. That's nearly all of it, which will force Empty Mage to sacrifice something. All but one of the manas. All but one of the manas. 404 can cast, or he can play a planes. So after the Chain Eater's Edict trigger, like, finishes resolving, Toshiro Umezawa is going to trigger. What does 404 target with the Toshiro Umezawa? Because he hasn't played a land drop this turn, I don't think. He might have. I wasn't paying that close of attention. But I can take a look. No, he has yet to play a land. Targeting Diabolic Edict, he's going to play the planes, probably. Either the planes or the Mishra's Factory. Either one, doesn't really matter. And Diabolic Edict. He Swords to Plowshares is the Horn Sliver. Toshiro Umezawa doesn't say you can cast it for free. You can just cast it. Like, you need to pay the mana. It doesn't say you can... If I take a look at the card, it doesn't say you can cast it until end of turn, does it? You may play instant and target instant card in your graveyard. So you have to cast it as that ability resolves, or you can't cast it at all. Mishra's Factory. Yep. And then we're gonna pass it back over. Things are getting kind of small, but you can see the dinky little Toshiro Umezawa. It looks like we're really far away. Like the table's just getting farther and farther away. Horn Sliver's the only one left. Bayou. He should not swing out with this Horn Sliver. That would just be a dumb decision. Because Toshiro Umezawa has Bushido 1. My favorite mechanic, by the way. Bushido. It's just really cool. I don't know. Inherent play. Well, okay, it's either Bushido or Convoke. One of the two. Wow, we get Grasp of Darkness. Target creature gets -4/-4 for black. And Vampiric Tutor. So Vampiric Tutor actually can go find a win con. And then Grasp of Darkness, you know, that can just kill Hornsliver. Vampiric Tutor is an instant. Oh my god. I don't see why you wouldn't. Well, you lose 4 life, which would put him at 2, which is probably too little. Grasp of Darkness kills the thing. Toshiro Umezawa gonna trigger. What is in the graveyard that we can hit? Grasp of Darkness, Diabolic Edict, or Fatal Push. Wow, so Toshiro Umezawa, you know, I thought that card was janky, and then now that I look at it, that card is not janky. That card is really dank. Because you can, like, when you cast your instant kill spell, you can cast it, kill something, the trigger will resolve, and then you can cast a different one. Yikes. Toshiro Umezawa, powerful card. Mishra's Factory. So we're gonna see it swing in for 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 7. Which will put Anti-Mage to 7, and he'll need to find some sort of answer. But the problem is, no matter what he finds, it's gonna get killed. Either with Anguishman making or Path to Exile. So even if Anti-Mage has 2 answers, 2 ways to stabilize this game, they're both gonna die. Anguishman making is a little scary, because you go to 6. Because again, Anguishman making bolts yourself. Yeah, and 404 takes it. What a game. What a game. So, that was game 1. We're going to go back into it. I've requested permission to see hand cards, but I don't know who I'm looking at. Well, I'm looking at 404's hand, even though it's a little weird because we're here on Empty Mage's side, but we're looking at 404's hand, so you're just going to have to figure that one out. He's decided to keep this hand. Mind Twist is a points card. Target player discards X cards at random from his or her hand. Which is going to suck. Like, no matter what deck you're in. Gemhide Sliver. That's just another... It's a functional reprint of Mano F Sliver. Draws an Angel of Sanctions. This is a Fiend Hunter? Yeah, Fiend Hunter effect on a 3/4 Flying Angel. That also repeats for 6. Collective Brutality. Target creature gets -2/-2 until end of turn. He might even choose to discard a card to reveal his hand, but I don't think so. Yep, he's just gonna... Well, no. Let's find out. Did I tell you that Xmage is a perfect program and that it works super well all the time? Yep. Target opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. Really? I have a doubt that that is good. Worth discarding a card for. Sure. He discards Angelus Sanctions. Alright. I mean, 4/4 can go, you know, Flooded Strain, get, what is the black-white duel? No, he just goes straight for Hypnotic Spectre. Whenever Hypnotic Spectre deals damage to an opponent, that player discards a card at random. That also sucks. The at-random clause is really bad. He might want to just go Flooded Strand, Mind Twist for 4, well, Mind Twist for 3, and then hit with his Hypnotic Spectre, which will tear apart Empty Mage's hand. Just demolish it. Ooh! A Braid. That's gonna kill Hypnotic Spectre. Yeah, so Empty Mage is in this kind of Toxic Deluge. That's gonna be really useful against all the Slivers. He's in this kind of mid-rangey Slivers deck. Flooded Strand. I don't know why Toxic Deluge costs less than a normal Wrath. Like, normally Wraths cost 4. I don't know why Toxic Deluge costs 3. That's really dumb. Mind Twist for 3. Anyway, the reason that I think it's dumb that it costs someone less is because being able to scale up or down how much life, or how much, yeah, like how much the minus X is, makes this a way better card than most Wraths. Not all Wraths, but for example, like against aggro, you can just cast this for 3, name X as 1, all of your creatures don't die, all of their creatures do. Empty Mage. Heart Sliver. All Slivers have haste. Swings for 1. I don't know why Slivers are called Slivers. Perhaps they're like slices of the pie? I don't know. Desecration Demon is from RTR. At the beginning of each combat, any opponent may sacrifice a creature. If that player does, tap Desecration Demon and put a 1/1 counter on it. So it has some inevitability, and also it's a 4-mana 6/6 with flying. So that sucks for Empty Mage. You can, most cases, you can keep the Desecration Demon tapped down ad infinitum, but I don't think you really want to. Like, what you really want to do is kill it, but he doesn't have a way to. And damage goes down to 0 cards in hand. Striking Sliver. Sliver creatures you control at first strike. Predatory Sliver. Sliver creatures you control get +1/+1. So now he's got an army of 2/2s with first strike. Beginning of combat. Desecration Demons triggers. It's a beginning of every combat, by the way. So if you don't want Desecration Demon to be a blocker, and he just doesn't swing out. 4/4 is Resto. So Resto, I mean, you're probably gonna know what Resto is, but if you don't know what Resto is, it's a 4-mana 3/4 Flying Angel with Flash. Yep, and there's the Toxic Deluge. Like I said, X equals 2. 404 took both of those games. Congratulations.
Yep.
Good stuff.
Turns
man.
out board wipes are pretty good against Slivers.
Yeah, I've heard. I don't know from whom, but I've heard. So I think we're gonna kick it over to a different game, just right at the end. Let's go over to. What do you guys think? Let's see Tulip and Coin Man.
Yeah, I'm interested about this one.
Oh, and we're just getting into the start of Game 3. Nice. Let me change the overlay then. So we're no longer on Slivers versus White Black Control. We are on Mr. Tulip is on. What is he on
He's
again?
on Abzan Midrange.
Abzan Midrange, right. I can type. Really loudly, too. I can type so loud that it just gets obnoxious. Give me a second.
Why, hello, stream. How are you doing today?
I mute myself for 1 second and it crashes. What is this garbage? I lost connection to the server. Again.
I still have it. We're
Yeah,
saying...
no, like, it didn't crash.
No.
It's just a bad program.
Somehow managing to have a worse UI than critically acclaimed program Magic the Gathering Online.
Hey, man, at least Xmage is free. Magic the Gathering Online can cost you your house.
We'll see how Arena is. Or
I really hope Arena's good. I could talk for hours about what I hope for Arena.
under the threat of losing $10 to breaking NDA, I can't talk about the Arena beta.
You lose $10 whole?
Fines are up to $10.
That's brutal, man. Well, did you know that Australia manages a 90% participation rate in its elections with a fine of only, you guessed it, $10? I actually think that's a lot. I think it's like $20. But if you don't vote, you get fined $20 in Australia, and most people are like, well, I guess it's worth my time. They also have like a holiday, but
yeah.
So Coinman's holding a pretty nice, mid-rangey hand. He's got Scoozy. Great mid-range card. Great card in Highlander in general. Great card in Magic in general, because it can get rid of cards in graveyards and also grow really big. Getting in the trials.
From Inquisition earlier, we saw Git Probe, Duress, Brainstorm. So.
Yep.
That's not a lot of information to go off of.
Yep. Out comes Scoos. Getting in the trials gets worse every time I draw him. He's a 3-mana Planeswalker with 3 loyalty for +1 until your next turn. Prevent all damage target permanent would deal. For 0, he's a 4/4 with indestructible, and you would prevent all damage that he would take. And also for 0, you get an emblem with, as long as you control a Gideon's Planeswalker, you can't lose the game and your opponents can't win the game. Have you ever activated that last ability?
I've never played with Gideon in any format.
I've never played with him
in any format.
I've heard interesting things about Gideon Tribal in Modern.
Oh my god.
You play Bitter Blossom and all the Gideons.
Why is it tribal? Why?
Well, I mean...
Adaptive Automaton naming Gideon? That's stupid. That's a...
No,
No, name human.
doesn't do that. You name human, yeah.
Well, just play 5-color humans, then. God.
Yeah, but then you don't get this isn't actually a tier deck.
I
No,
bet
not at
you
all.
anything it's not.
It's hanging on the fringes. People freaked out for a bit when Gideon and the Trials came out, and then again when the Planeswalker rule changed. But it hasn't been good enough.
Well, wasn't Boggles like a low tier 2 deck for the longest time?
Bogles was a
Well,
high tier 2 deck.
Oh, I thought it
Bogles,
got low. It
it's
was a low
always
tier
been
2.
able to field tournaments, but
Yeah.
I mean,
Bogles is
thing
one of those
is,
tier 2 decks
it-
that you have to meta against.
yeah, you need sack effects. You need Liliana -2, especially.
Okay. So this Gideon is going to get remanded.
Are you looking at Coinman's hand?
I am.
Nice.
Yeah,
Outcomes are
there's
good.
the remand.
Absolutely. Remand is basically time walk.
In most situations.
In most situations, remand is basically time walk because you return it to counter target spell, return it to the opponent's hand, and draw a card.
card.
Which means that their entire turn worth of doing things is gone, and you draw a card.
Remand has so many modes and is such a good card.
Yes, yes. Oh,
Remanding your own thing to prevent it from getting countered is probably my favorite.
so.
My favorite is remanding your own grape shot.
Oh!
Yeah.
That is some hot tech right there.
Okay, so Coinman is sitting on Cabal and Necro.
Cabal Therapy and Necropotence. Interesting.
No, Cabal Ritual.
Cabal
Oh!
Ritual.
So, okay, if you're Coinman here, do you want to go Cabal Ritual Necropotence? Because you won't
Well,
have the
that's what I was
black.
gonna ask.
You won't have the black to go Doomsday.
He has a Watery Grave.
Mind Stone. That's fair.
Yeah. I think
Coinman
I
really
would
wants to
go
be spending his early turns ramping out.
Mind Stone, maybe Brainstorm at some point.
Hmm.
Yeah, this looks like it's gonna be a brainstorm turn.
Speaking of
Yeah.
decks in Modern that I really want to see play in Highlander, 5-color Humans is so sweet. I know Alex Stacey has a 4-color Humans brew.
Yeah.
And that went, I want to say 3-1 at a tournament, but I might be
Wow.
making that up.
The thing about
Brainstorm.
hedging all the way into 5-color is your mana base gets very bad very quickly.
It does.
Yeah, I think
Oh!
5 colors is too much.
So this Brainstorm resulted in Preordained
Preordained Demonic Tutor and
Demonic Consultation and Flooded Strand.
Who?
Woof. What do you take?
Man. I put
Demonic
the
Consultation?
you put Cabal Ritual back, and the Flooded Strand on top of it. Interesting.
Creeping up towards that threshold.
I would thought he would doing anything.
Mr. Tulip activates the Gideon effect. So I mean, Coinman can't win the game.
Gideon has to be removed. And to
Yeah!
be fair, there are plenty of things that can get Gideon off the table for a turn.
True. But
Are we seeing Echoing Truth in Coinman's list?
What
Or
on earth?
similar things? Snap,
Into the
maybe?
Royal. Snap only hits creatures, so you'd have
Snap
to tap
only
with
hits
it.
creatures, right.
Cyclonic Rift.
Cyclonic Rift gets there.
Gets there.
Let's see. Literally anything else that could possibly deal with this. It's not looking good, boys.
Ooh.
Ooh. So does he just demonic consult for something to deal with Gideon?
He literally has to. He
Demonic
actually does not have a choice.
Consulting Blind is sure makes you nervous though.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know what he wants to do. If you, tendrils, can you redirect the life
No,
loss?
'cause it's loss of
No,
you
it's
can
loss of
redirect
life.
damage,
Mm.
and it's not damage; it's loss of.
So what are you, just screwed here?
I mean,
I mean, the only thing I can do is
I think you have to find that Cyclonic Rift.
You need to find exactly Cyclonic Rift, followed by exactly Force of Will.
that or EOT Cyclonic Rift, and then win on the next.
True, yeah. He's got Chain of Vapor.
Chain of Vapor does
Chain
it.
of Vapor does it.
Yeah, but also Chain of Vapor is really scary.
I mean, what's he gonna get bounced? The Mind Stone?
I was thinking like if he plays a Candelabra of Thanos, that gets bounced back. That's
Great.
probably good for him though. That's the worst part.
Yeah.
Toxic Talent too.
If you wanna. Last week when I was playing High Tide, I would frequently bounce the my own candelabra whenever I could.
Yeah. Chain of Vapor is a weird card, dude. Not even gonna lie to you.
Oh, I was thinking of the other one. No, this is a good card.
This is a good
I was
card.
thinking of a Chain of Mist, maybe? Chain of Fog?
What's the one where
It's
your
from
opponent can-
Homelands.
Oh, Jesus. What's the one where your opponent can
Uh,
sacrifice a land to make you discard 2 cards?
I guess it
Nice.
wasn't.
I forget actually. Did you win a game or not? I wasn't.
Oh
there.
yeah, I did get a game.
Okay, so that was 2.
I was thinking of Chain Stasis.
Chain Stasis? What on earth? So
So this is first of all,
Arterion
this
wins
is
that game,
rare
right?
Homelands.
Yes.
Yeah.
And MT Mage is currently playing. Look at that. No, MT Mage, you lost, right?
I lost 0-2.
0-2.
0-2.
Okay. Which means that Tulip is playing, and
Yes.
Koyman is playing, and Varvac
Yes.
won. You won 2-0, right?
No, I've lost all my game. I've lost all my matches.
I'm so confused. Okay. MT Mage was playing 404.
I played 404.
Right,
Yes.
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because you tried to pair me and Varvac initially.
Look. Not paying the closest attention. So I do have MT Mage, and I do have 404, and I do have Varvac, who played Arterion.
Yes.
Okay. And Tulip and Koyman are playing. Okay.
Yeah.
I decided to do my seeding whilst the games are going on, so I don't accidentally mute myself and into oblivion. Oh, I got a new headphone cable, by the way. I ordered it from the manufacturer. I decided to get black this time because the white one is a lot less durable, and I can hear you all now. Like my left ear works. I'm very excited.
Nice.
Gideon swung for 3. So that's another thing. If Koyman
4.
has some sort of
wow.
creature,
You need
Yeah.
that for 4. But yeah, Coinman at 6. That's not very good.
Does he have to go off?
Now, Gideon does have indestructible and can't take damage
correct.
while he's a creature.
While he's a
but-
creature.
It's Coin
Well,
Man's
yeah.
turn, though.
Yeah. But I'm saying, is
Yeah.
there a piece of removal that only hits creatures that could hit Gideon while he's a creature?
Most of them are in
Snap.
white.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Snap.
Some
Is he
bounce
playing
spells.
Snap?
Coinman
Should be fine,
has.
Snap.
I know there's a
Oh.
Cyclonic Rift in his deck.
Well, you don't need
Tulip draws
Cyclonic
Doran
Rift
the
to-
Siege Tower.
This was a card that got me the first game. Well,
No, absolutely. This is one of the coolest tech cards that Tulip is playing.
yeah. You have to remove this.
Yeah, Doran
Immediately.
is a 3-mana 5/5, and it makes all of your creatures weaker.
So why didn't he play Dorn to hit with the bird too and knock Coin Man down to cut him on fetches, cut him on?
Yeah, that would also
Doomsday?
turn off Doomsday. Yeah.
That would
Yeah.
turn off
Might
Doomsday.
not have seen the line.
That's
Might need
fair.
the mana for something else.
Yeah.
He
You're
casts
not
Doran
usually
afterwards.
thinking of birds as a beater, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you're running Doran, maybe you should. I know I saw some creatures that could be evaluated based on
Yeah,
Doran
we'll see if it gets
that are
punished.
probably in there
So-
because Doran.
Doran?
Yeah.
How's that pronounced? Doran.
Doran.
Duran.
Duran.
Durian.
Oh.
Oh, dig through time.
What
Ooh.
do you hope to hit here?
Literally
what's in his
anything.
hands? Do you
I'm
know
not
what's in
sure
his
there's any
I
hits
mean,
that get
the
you
be-
out.
the best two I could think of would be Lab Maniac into and Cyclonic Rift. Because then
There's
EOT
still that
I mean,
Demonic
Cyclonic
Consult.
Rift. You have to
Demonic
overload
Consult
Cyclonic
for
Rift to
something?
do anything.
I don't.
No,
You don't have
just
enough blue mana.
Target Gideon.
But then he attacks with Doran and birds the next turn.
Excuse me for a second. I'm
He has
gonna
a 2
turn
life.
off the Xmage sounds because I forgot they were on and they're obnoxious.
Hey,
Yeah, they are.
If he hits that on the end of turn, still Cyclonic Rift to Gideon, untap, draw, hope to hit a land, play Lab Maniac, Demonic Consult for something, then pop the Mind Stone.
He can theoretically win this game, but it's really not looking good.
No. Like I said, I think it has to be pretty perfect in order for him to get out of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have a feeling, I have a gut feeling that drawing into the perfect 7 here is really not gonna happen.
Yeah, I think this might be the concession.
It comes down to hitting the perfect 2 off of Dig.
Correct.
Do we know what
Which,
Coinman has in hand?
looking for 2 out of 76 cards.
It's not ideal.
No.
And he needs to find the exact 2, not just any good 2.
No. Does he have any other things to bounce a creature? Because Gideon's currently a creature.
Gideon is currently a creature, but Doran
Oh,
also
Gideon's not a creature.
kills.
Gideon's a planeswalker.
No, Gideon is a creature right now because
Oh,
we're
sorry.
on
Oh,
Tulip's
Tulip's
End.
turn. I didn't
Yeah,
realize
this
we were
is
Tulip's.
No problem.
Yeah.
Any
No,
bounce spell he
that-
could find is gonna hit also, like, non-creatures as well. Like, the only thing that he's looking for that he couldn't get otherwise is Snap.
He took Fact and Island.
Ooh.
Yikes.
Does he have a line, or is he just kind of hoping right now?
I think he's waiting to see what he draws on his draw step.
Yeah. So it's basically kind of hope and pray. Oh, Mind's Desire.
Interesting. That.
Interesting, probably not good enough.
How
that
many
doesn't-
creatures? Well, I guess it's not creatures that you're hoping to hit. It's win this turn,
Yeah.
essentially.
Without a high tide, it's probably
Unlikely.
not possible.
Well, do you consult for High Tide?
That would be insane.
Consult for High Tide, Ritual, Fact. Something
also
off
off
that Desire?
Phyrexian mana right now.
Yeah, he's off for Exian.
Oh, yeah. Yuck.
The only line I can see is Demonic for High Tide, Cabal, or Demonic for Dark Ritual.
No, you have the Demonic for High Tide.
High Tide. Yeah.
Demonic for
Yeah,
High Tide.
Cabal
and
Ritual
then-
wouldn't do anything because he only
High
has 3 cards in his
Tide.
yard.
Cabal Ritual, use that 3 in the Steam event for Factor Fiction. That leaves you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Look for something to combo
nothing
off
off
of
of-
High Tide with Factor Fiction. I mean, if he
Yeah.
Demonic Consultations and just exiles High Tide, he's done. He's dead.
Oh yeah, but
Yeah.
I think that's
That's your
play, 'cause
only
if you-
option.
Yeah, because you can go Demonic Constellation, hit High Tide. No, you have to pay for the High Tide.
He has enough for it. He'll
So
have
Demonic-
3 mana left,
Consult with
which
the
turns into 6.
Moderate High Tide. Ball for the Underground Sea. So you have
Oh yeah, he has Cabal Ritual, so he can generate a little
Yeah.
more mana than we
Well, there's
do.
a
All right, we're
consultation.
seeing the
Here we
consultation.
go. What does it name, though?
And this is the dangerous consultation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this...
The
To
value
remind-
consultation.
To remind our people, name a card, you exile the top 6 cards of your library, and then you reveal cards one by one until you find it.
Oh boy, here we
that-
go.
Treasure Cruise.
Named.
High.
Yeah, named High Tide.
Okay.
Yep, named High
Yeah,
Tide, and he
Named
gets
High
it.
Tide.
Found a High Tide.
Yep.
Lake
No,
of
High
the
Tide's
Dead,
gonna-
Gush, Demir Signet, Myrtle, Dark Ritual, and Cascade Bluffs are exiled. That Dark Ritual might hurt.
Yeah. Well, he
So
finds
you-
he finds the High Tide, which is the important thing.
So
Yeah.
So he can go
Has
So
High
let's
Tide-
see what got
Lab
exiled.
Labman's exiled.
Tendrils got exiled.
Oh, Labman's exiled. That's really bad.
Doomsday's
he's got
exiled.
10 cards
Yawgmoth's
in
will
deck.
exiled. Doomsday exiled.
He's only got
Lab-
10 cards left in his
Force of
library.
Will.
Oh my god.
I don't know how
Both
he does it.
Imperial Tutor and personal, or Imperial Seal and Personal Tutor.
Past and Flames. is gonna
Candelabra
lag.
exiled. Mystic Tutor exiled.
That was really bad.
That was
Yeah, there's-
very
There's a lot of stuff that's very
Time
important.
Twister, Grim Tutor. There's the High Tide.
Wheel,
We're
Grim Tutor.
yeah. I have a distinct feeling that Coinman is not going to be able to win this game off the side tide.
Notably, though,
Factor
there
Fiction will
is-
reveal nearly his entire library, half of what's left.
Half of his remaining library. Which
there
is
is
the
still
cards.
that Cyclonic Rift in that 10.
Oh yeah, we still have the Gideon.
Yeah.
Emblem active.
Can you afford to overload? It's 7 to overload it, right?
Come
Well,
on.
you don't need to overload it. You just need to bounce Gideon.
Yeah.
Does he not need to bounce Doran?
I mean,
No.
if you're going
Here's
for
the
the win
thing.
this turn.
Here's the thing.
Oh, if you're going for the win this turn.
If he bounces Gideon,
How does he
Tulip
win
is
this?
just gonna
Paper
replay him
Rift
and
are both
reactivate
in
the
a-
zero.
In exile.
Oh.
I mean, how does he win?
I don't think he
Does
can.
he?
Mind's Desire.
X3.
Storm count
Well, 3.
is
Storm
3.
count is 3.
3.
Okay.
This is the last ditch effort.
I mean, good luck.
I don't think we're
And-
getting.
Did somebody say Oh yeah, Tendrils is in there. So
Yeah,
you can't
Tendrils is already
Tendrils
Yeah, you
for
can't Tendrils.
value
Labman's in
Tendrils.
there, you can't Labman. I don't
Oh,
think
duh.
we
I mean,
have a
value
win
tendrils.
con
I don't even
left.
think does it at this point. That'd only be 6 life.
Emrakul.
He's got
Does this deck play Emrakul?
No.
no.
All right.
Yeah, I think we're seeing a win con list. Let's see what these
yeah.
reveal, but
'Cause I was gonna
it's
say
not
that-
going to be
Well,
good.
well,
news.
okay. Think about it like this. This Mind's Desire takes 4 cards off the top of the library, and then you cast Factor Fiction.
Right.
He
Okay.
doesn't have the mana. He
but
only has 2
Labra-
lands.
Time Spiral.
Time Spiral.
That doesn't shuffle Exile into your library, sadly.
No. Urborg. But it gets him more mana.
Candelabra
He might
is
not
also
realize
in exile.
everything.
Yeah, Candelabra's in Exile.
Like,
he
yeah,
might
I don't-
not realize everything's in exile.
Maybe
He might
not.
Went through it.
Well,
I
if
don't
he
think it
didn't
makes a
realize,
difference.
why would
Like,
he ever
this is
cast-
his only line.
Finds Verdant. Okay, so then you
Time
go.
Spiral, Urborg Island, and
You have to go time spiral.
He doesn't have the mana. Well, he does have the mana. It's off.
Oh
of
yeah,
the-
you get to
yeah,
cast
yeah.
it for free.
Yeah.
Time Spiral gets 7 cards back in your
Time
library.
Spiral would kill him.
No, when
It wouldn't,
he
because
would
it
go
shuffles
to
hand in
he would have
library.
1 card in his library.
Oh yeah, because Time
Okay,
Spiral
yeah,
draws
you-
And
sorry,
cards.
yeah,
what's in his graveyard?
In his graveyard are 7 cards.
Absolutely
Brainstorm,
brilliant.
Preordain.
Mind's Desire.
Yeah. We could cast Mind's Desire again,
How-
except,
oh,
you know,
yeah.
no mana.
How would
Well,
you
no, because the Time
win,
Spiral is
though?
going to untap the
Well,
land.
Time Spiral untaps everything.
Yeah,
So
but
we'll
like,
have another 10 minutes to work with.
okay, here's my
You
problem.
can see that.
How does he win?
That's
Yeah,
You can see
he
that.
doesn't.
he can't.
Yeah, there it goes.
There it is.
That was unfortunate.
Yeah, that was a very scary consultation, and unfortunately it did not pay off.
Yeah.
Not at all.
So Tulip takes that game 2-1. Oops.
And the thing is, that's not even the worst that consultation can get. If you blind consult, you have, you know, over a 6% chance of just losing the game right there.
So I'm just gonna cover match results one more time. Arterian Legacy. What happened in your match?
2-1.
2-1 to you. Okay.
It
And you
was.
were 0-0 before, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or no, I was. I went in 0-1.
No matches,
My-
1 game.
No, I lost in 2 last match.
Okay. So that should take you up to
And I won.
3 wins.
So I have
Okay.
2 wins and 3 losses.
Empty Mage.
I lost 0-2.
And in your first game, you won
2-1.
2-1. Okay. Tulip won his game in 2. Or won his game in 3. Coinman lost his game in 3.
Yep.
Varvac.
I lost my game.
In one?
3.
In 3?
In
And
3.
4 for...
Won it in 2.
Okay. I'm on board now. I'm all caught up. So this is very exciting. We do have, sadly, no final because of the way that things have shaken out.
Right.
Yay! No one's 2-0.
Nobody is 2-0.
Wow.
And nobody's gonna go
Wow.
through. Well, there is one person who's 2-0, and that's Tulip. But nobody's 3-0,
Oh.
and nobody else is 2-0. So Tulip is just gonna play the next best thing. Hand seeding is garbage, and I should not do it. I should instead hand it over
You
to
can-
somebody else.
You can use like there are so many
Yeah,
resources.
I should use the
that's what are-
You can use offline war. There's like tournament things online that just do
like
all that.
challenge or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Didn't
I
Wizards
think.
just publish a thing for people to download, redirect?
Probably.
I think
No,
it's
yeah,
not
it's
out.
offline
Yeah.
war, which is explicitly for pre-releases because pre-releases happen to break a lot.
Yeah, pre-release. Sometimes it's just like, oh, war went down for literally everyone on
Mage,
pre-release weekend.
Yes,
have you played 404?
Yes.
I just played him.
Okay. But you not played Coinman. And 404
Correct.
has not played Varvac.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay. As it turns out, it didn't matter what your results were. Because, like, it doesn't matter what your results were past game 1, because you're seeded as though, the seeding doesn't change. Is everybody ready for the last game?
Sure am.
Well,
Let's-
Tulip's not here yet.
Go!
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Tulip has to go
Oh
back.
boy. I'm
Well,
gonna lose
while
this
that's
deck
happening, would you like
Alright.
to talk about a card you found? Because otherwise, I'm going to talk about a card I found, and nobody wants that.
Are you gonna talk about weird cards again?
Yeah, we are going to talk about weird cards. Got a weird card?
No, I don't.
Anybody weird card? Because I'm gonna give you a weird card unless you. give
Alright,
Liev
let's tip my
Gaiman.
hand a bit. Let's tip my hand a bit and talk about Imp's Mischief.
What the hell is
What?
this?
It's a counterspell, okay? In black.
What on earth?
Welcome to the
this-
Time Spiral block.
What
This
on
one's
earth?
Is this Lorwyn? It's Lorwyn. I was right. Or Morning.
No,
No,
it's Planar
no,
Chaos.
this is planar chaos.
Oh, okay. But either way, it's a counterspell in black.
Okay, it's
No,
not.
it's a redirect.
It's a redirect.
It's black redirect.
And you lose a bunch of life.
Illegal to its CMC.
Or if you're targeting Ancestral Week.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just
Okay.
don't redirect the Banefire.
Yeah.
Now, okay, to be fair, this has the same amount of upside as one of my favorite cards in Magic, which is Swerve, which is literally just change the target of target spell with a single target, but for red and blue. This is the same amount of upside, which is if they cast a removal spell and they have a creature, you get to 2 for 1.
Yeah.
But it also has the same amount of downside as that, which is if they cast things that don't target, you never get to cast it.
I mean, it has more downside because the life.
Yeah. You also lose some life.
Like you never want to cast this on like a murderous cut.
Yeah.
That would actually be bad. Not even gonna lie.
Yeah. Ancestral
Or-
Vision also
yeah.
a good hit.
Hey, Ancestral Visions also gets it.
Because you lose 0 life.
Let's go. Also, check out the Nicol Bolas flavor text on that.
Yeah.
Do the innocent pay for the crimes of the guilty? Of course they do. That's the fate of the week. How brutal.
Yeah, that sounds like black.
That sounds like
Yeah.
Nicol Bolas, honestly.
That is
So
quintessential
this, I'm
black.
running this
What an
has
ass.
the same amount of gotcha factor as Mana Tide.
Yeah, Mana
Yeah.
Tide is a sweet card. I have a card that I want to talk about that I found like last Friday, 2 days ago.
Our friend is back, by the way, the one who had left.
Well, I don't get to talk about Mardu Strike Leader. Oh, that's so sad.
I mean, it seems like you already are.
Well, you know what? Yeah. F you guys. This is my show. I can do whatever I want.
Can't
Yes, you
do
can.
a creature token.
God damn it!
This is just good, man.
Hold up.
Dash
This is my show. I can mess it up as badly as I want to.
Dash
There
is
we
a
go.
good mechanic.
Mardu Strike Leader. Okay. Ignore the dash. Even though the dash is good, ignore it.
This card's just great.
2 and a black
Yep.
for a 3/2 human warrior. Whenever, which is bad. That's a bad stat line. Whenever
that's
it
fine.
attacks, make a 2/1. Make a 2/1. Black warrior creature token. Right?
Seeing this for a 3/2 is actually fine.
That's
that's not
good.
bad.
It
This card is
would be
quite
bad
good.
if that was all the card. Okay.
Eh,
Dash?
Yeah,
not
probably.
even.
The dash on this makes this insane in mid-range.
Yeah.
3 and a
This card
black,
is-
hit them for 3 and make a 2/1. Over and over and over again. This card
Yeah,
is
this
really
card is
good and
actively
nobody's
good.
playing
I
it.
like this.
Yeah, it misses sorcery speed removal like all dash cards. It's
I love it. I love this card. It's really good.
That's awesome.
Okay, now we're gonna play games.
It's fine.
Hey. Yeah, it is only fine. Honestly, don't play it unless you're in like mono black. Well, here we go.
Play one Mardu.
Let's go.
Oh, right.
Yeah, you guys have to like play Magic. How strange is that? So for this coverage, I want to talk about. Well, I want to go watch one of the decks that we haven't seen so far, and that's Varvac, who is on Blue White Death and Taxes. Blue White Death and Taxes. It's very exciting. So Death and Taxes is traditionally this like mono white taxi mean deck, right? But in the most recent like tournament that we saw that was really big, not like our thing, right? But like a serious one. We saw black white Death and Taxes. So we're adding colors to D&T to make it more consistent. Control. Adding black is really useful because you get a lot of this disruption. Adding blue, I'm really interested to see how this works. You know, how valuable is going to be adding blue. Oh, it's a little too long. It's a little too long. We're good. Oh, perfect. Varvac, Glacial Fortress. Interesting that in a Death and Taxes, in a Death and Taxes list, he doesn't have a turn 1 play, but we'll see. 4/4 error, Isolated Chapel. So we're really interested. There are a few hate cards that are really good against control. Things that make your stuff more expensive, like Thalia. Like Baby Thalia. There's Kythian. I'm pretty sure Varvac wanted to go Caracas, Kythian, not Glacial Fortress. Tapped, and then next turn Caracas, Kythian, but we'll see. Caracas protects Kythian because it bounces legendary creatures, and Kythian happens to be a legendary creature. Human Soldier. Who also looks like an absolute idiot in this art. Look at his little face. Innocent Blood. Each player sacrifices a creature. That is just bad for Varvac. He wanted to bounce Kythian on that one, to be honest. Let's see, though. And 4/4 passes over the turn. So, Varvac has not done the traditional thing that most players do when they hedge into blue, which is, you know, add a bunch of counter spells and a bunch of draw spells and, like, just go hard. This is still mostly a white list. He's just also playing these great, also blue threats like Geist of St. Draft. 1 blue, white, for 2/2 with hexproof, and whenever it attacks, you make a 4/4 white angel. Just powerful magic. So most of the deck is still white. A majority of the deck is still white. But what he is playing that's blue is Deputy of Acquittals, Geist of St. Draft. Like, all the things that he's playing that are blue can also be cast with white, with exceptions of, I think about 4 cards. Yeah. Both of them had to reconnect there, interestingly. My throat's starting to get a little sore. You know what? I'm gonna nip that in the bud and go get something to drink. I'm really sorry, stream. I will be right back, but I don't want my voice to be destroyed for the next week. So I shall return as soon as I possibly can. Please enjoy this wonderful game of Magic the Gathering. I'll put on some classical music for you. Just so you don't get, you know, bored. This is Spring by Antonio Vivaldi. I think. Yeah. I'll be back. Can you guys hear me? Hey, you can. Alright. I got something to drink so I don't die here. Lay bare the heart. So we reveal one of the mono blue cards, Stunt Double. It's a Flash. It's a clone with Flash. Linval the Keeper of Silence, which is a nice just 4/4, and Liev Sky Knight, which will detain a card. So that was Lay Bare the Heart, which is the one where you choose a non-legendary non-land card from it for 2. And it looks like he got Liev Sky Knight. So what's left in hand is Stunt Double in the ball. Speaking of what's left in hand. Hallowed Spirit Keeper. That's a 3-mana 3/2 with Vigilance that makes a bunch of 1/1s when it dies. It counts itself for this X count, by the way. Looks like Varback on this Death and Taxes list is kind of going off. 4/4 has yet to put up a creature. Elspeth Knight Errant. This is the one that is smaller than the other Elspeth. This just makes 1/1/1 or makes one of your guys +3/+3 and flying, which is going to be this soldier token. Right now, the count for Hallowed Spirit Keeper is 3. So when this dies, you're going to see 4 1/1s. I like that I kept checking it, but it's still broken. And it's broken every time, but I just want to believe. I can't believe Vivaldi's Rites of Spring nearly broke Xmage. Well, okay. I can believe that. Despise. That hits creatures or planeswalkers, which is just going to reveal Stunt Double and Lavala. So he's probably going to be discarding Stunt Double here. Yeah, and he does. I've got knockoff LaCroix. So I've got Soleil by refresh. We're going to see what Varvac draws here. He draws a Marsh Flats. And that's just another land. Varvac wants to play out Linvala. Activates the Elspeth. Elspeth goes up to 7. The 8th, the -8 on Elspeth is unwinnable through. Creatures, everything you control, all permanents you control except for planeswalkers gain indestructible. Yeah, artifacts, creatures, enchantments, and lands. We're going to swing out for 6 in the air with Hallowed Spirit Keeper, plus the 7 off the soldier. Plus the 1 off the soldier, making it 7. Excuse me, I misspoke. Varvac's got a lot of really powerful effects, and out comes the Linvala. That's fair. Cavern of Souls is probably just going to tap for 1 colorless, as is Hallowed Fountain. Well, Hallowed Fountain is just going to tap for whatever, it doesn't matter. Linvala comes out. What did that Cavern of Souls name? Human? Yep. That's fair. Humans are pretty prevalent in the D&T lists, to the point where you're allowed to play Cavern of Souls and name human, just because there are so many humans that it's still worth it. 4th plays Parallax Wave. That is just really bad, because that Hallowed Spirit Keeper is not going to trigger off a Parallax Wave. So he can remove the soldier permanently, as well as Hallowed Spirit Keeper and Linvala for a couple turns. And it looks like he's going to hold the Parallax trigger until Varvac, probably until Varvac attacks or activates Elspeth. Oh, Varvac draws Flicker Wisp. I mean, you probably just want to play out Flicker Wisp and flicker Parallax Wave. No, probably not Parallax Wave. I don't know what you flicker here, actually. Thinking about it, you could flicker Linvala, which would mean that when he activates this Parallax Wave, Linvala, like, he'll have to activate the Parallax Wave and flicker, like exile Linvala in response to the flicker trigger, and also exile Flicker Wisp, so that when Flicker Wisps come back, he can flicker something. But I don't know. We're gonna see the Linvala go away, and we're also gonna see the Hallowed Spirit Keeper go away. No Elspeth trigger, because he was probably saving it until after the Parallax Wave, like, goings on, to make a 1/1. And that's what Elspeth should probably just do here. Make a 1/1. Because your real goal is to take her up to the point where you can just play her -8, her ultimate, and make everything you control indestructible. I mean, the white-black control deck has a lot of exile effects and a lot of sacrifice effects, but it also has a lot of straight removal, and indestructible is a little obnoxious. Both players only have 4 lands out, because this is turn 13. That's notable because neither of them have kept up on their lands the whole time. Parallax Wave takes down. So this Parallax Wave is going to hold Linvala and the Hallowed Spirit Keeper for a while. 4/4 gets Caracas. He's really looking for some way to deal with this Elspeth. Oh no. I'm destroying my throat. I need to learn how to speak from the stomach and not from the throat, so I don't, die whenever I do this. Yep, 4/4 concedes there because of the Elspeth. Presumably because of the Elspeth ult, but we'll see. That blue-white Death and Taxes list looks cooler each time I see it. So we're seeing Varvac's hand here. I don't know whether he's going to keep this or not. We'll see. I would rather not talk about it until he keeps it. He does keep it. So, in this hand, you've got Skull Clamp, Chrome Mox, which is another one of those non-traditional Moxen. Temple of Silence. He's just going to scry another one. So we're probably going to see Leonin Relic Warden exiles artifacts or enchantments until it leaves the battlefield. We're probably away from Lavina the 10th. 4/4... Oh no, 4/4 played Temple of Silence. Varvac hasn't played anything yet. Varvac is on the draw. We're looking at Varvac's hand. Correct? Correct. He draws Glacial Fortress. Plays Scalding Tarn. Activates Scalding Tarn. He might just exile Lavina and cast Leonin Relic Warden. Leonin Relic Warder. Of course. And try to get in some beats with it. But my worry is that casting Leonin Relic Warder without any actual... I just play Skull Clamp. Without any actual, like, hits is dumb and also bad. It would just be a poor choice. Oops. Mishra's Factory. Brain Maggot. So, 4/4 is going to be able to see Varvac's hand. Brain Maggot is the other copy of Mesmeric Fiend, which we saw earlier. That is a maggot in an ear. That's really gross. We're just gonna we're gonna look down at the hand to see what Varvac takes, and Varvac takes Leonin Relic Warder. Or, jeez Louise, 4/4 takes Leonin Relic Warder from Varvac. Oof. If I'm Varvac here, I'm probably pretty scared. He's got the Tech Edge in hand, but 4/4 doesn't have 4 more lands yet. Soul Ring. Wow. So what? We go land, Soul Ring. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, 1 mana off, casting Lavina of the 10th. Lavinia? Lavinia? This pronunciation bit is just consuming my whole life. Lavania of the 10th. Castlevania of the 10th is a 5 mana 4/4 with Pro Red. When it enters the battlefield, detain each non-land permanent opponent's control with converted mana cost 4 left. Detain is a really cool mechanic that I'm very sad has gone away. Essentially, you can't attack or block or activate any abilities of something that's been detained. Let's see what 4/4 does. It's gonna activate Mishra's Factory and probably just swing in with it. 4/4 has a lot of cards in hand. Here's the thing. Varvac can totally cast Lavinia and even equip Skull Clamp to her, turn 1. But I don't think 5 damage beats is gonna be enough. He needs to find something more. Oh, Copter's good, but probably not good in this situation. Plays Tech Edge. Plays Lavinia. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, that's gonna be all the mana cost that Lavinia costs. Detains all of them. Until the Varvac's next turn. So, I mean, Brain Maggot can't attack. And Mishra's Factory can't attack either, because it's just going to get blocked by Lavinia. What an obnoxious name. Marsh Flats. 4/4 depending on what he gets here, we might see something like... Nah, got the shrine. If he had gotten, you know, something like Scrubland, we could have seen... Not Fatal Push. We could have seen Swords to Plowshares or Path to Exile. You know, one of the 1-mana exiles. I don't think 4/4 really cares, because Farvek is out of gas. As much as he would love to not be out of gas, he's out of gas. He's got this Chromox in hand. the TV is on. It's fine. He's got Chromox in hand. He's got Smuggler's Copter in hand. If he finds a 1/1, he can Skull Clamp and draw. But he just finds the plains. Yikes. Tech Edge is active, so we could see Tech Edge hitting Mishra's Factory. Which, if I was to guess, that would be my play. But we'll see. We'll see. There's Tech Edge, and it hits Mishra's Factory. If you're Varvik here, do you even want to swing with Lavinia? Why not crew the Smuggler's Copter? You'll get 1 or 2 less damage in, depending on the Skull Clamp trigger. But you'll filter. And what you need right now is filtering. Like, you want to be able to get rid of this Chromox, because it's just not active anymore. He's just going to swing in for 3. That's fair. Why not? 4/4 has way more cards in hand. He doesn't have as much of a board presence. And he's down to 3 lands. But he doesn't have the, like... He doesn't have board presence, but he has way more cards in hand. So... I don't know. We'll see. Brain Maggot just blocks Lavinia. And away it goes. So Varvek just got back Leon and Relic Order. And Leon and Relic Order can come in... Exile... Ooh. If 404 plays an artifact or enchantment, he can... Oh, it's a May trigger. You may. Perfect. If 404 plays an artifact or enchantment, it's just going to get Leon Relic Warded. Yeah. Warded. Toxic Deluge on 3? Just to kill Lavinia? He's gonna draw cards. What are you doing? I mean, I guess Lavinia is the biggest threat, but that's nuts in my mind. I guess if he doesn't have another way to kill it. Skull Clamp. Drawing a couple cards. We get Deputy of Acquittals and Judge's Familiar. So Deputy of Acquittals, it's blue, white, 2/2, flash, and you can return a creature you control to its owner's hand. So we see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana out on the battlefield. We could go Judge's Familiar into like Kanjali Sunwing, equip the Smuggler's Copter. Well, okay, not equip the Smuggler's Copter. Crew the Smuggler's Copter, and just go ham. Swing for 3 in the air with a Smuggler's Copter. Filter a little bit. Get rid of this Chromox. Really? Equipping... Well, not equipping. Crewing the Smuggler's Copter off the Kinjali Sunwing. I guess what he really wants to do is hold up Deputy of Acquittals to dodge some amount of removal. Which I think is a fair... You know, fair assessment. We're going to get that filtering off of Smuggler's Copter. Getting the knockoff LaCroix was the correct choice. I don't know if the first couple seconds of Rites of Spring, of Vivaldi's Spring, from the Season Suite, Looter Decor, 1/1 that can't be blocked. Except by other creatures with shadow. He discards the Literary Core. He wants to hold Chrome Mox, I guess. For some reason. So he's holding up Deputy of Acquittals. Until the end step. If you're Varvac here, do you want to flicker something? Do you want to cast Deputy of Acquittals at the end of turn no matter what? Because, I mean, just say no to the May trigger and you get another 2/2. Flooded Strain. Again, we don't know what's in 404's hand because Xmage is bad? Real bad. Unable to touch items of value. Gets a Plains. Gonna cast Cabal Therapy. What does he name? Something that he already knows is there. Chrome Mox, Leanin Relic Warder. I mean, that's the correct choice, right? If you name, like, Judge's Familiar, not only are you nuts, but you're insane. Like you're insane for doing it, and also nuts for guessing correctly. Does that make sense? That probably doesn't make any sense. Cabal Therapy, yeah. Names Leon in Relic Order. As you can see down here. And he discards the Leon in Relic Order. So we're left with Chrome Mox, Deputy of Acquittals, and Judge's Familiar in hand. Now that 404 knows about the Deputy of Acquittals, he loses even more value. I don't know, we'll see. I guess Varvac can make some big plays with this Skull Clamp and grab Judge's Familiar. Like put Judge's Familiar into the battlefield. I keep saying equip. Crew the Smuggler's Copter. Sacrifice Judge's Familiar to Skull Clamp. Yeah, he's just gonna say no to the May trigger on Deputy. If he says yes to this May ability, that would be insane. Alright. Let's see what he draws. Because, I mean, you get the Judge's Familiar, you get to crew the Smuggler's Copter, you're probably not getting any more value off of it, and you get to draw 2 cards. War Priest of Thune. I mean, 1 mana, 2 mana, 2/2, destroys enchantments. Varvac has hedged really hard into this artifact/enchantment destruction, which I think is the correct choice in this meta. Cruise the Smuggler's Copter. Let's see. With Judge's Familiar? Yeah, you betcha. Now, the question is, does he equip Skull Clamp to it? Because if he does, he gets to draw 2 cards. Which might let him grind out more value. He sure does. Let's see what he draws. Because this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 damage, plus a little bit of filtering. He has the Chrome Mox in hand, and he can exile... What? He equips Kinjali Sunwing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I mean... Yeah, I guess why not? Because if you have all the extra mana, you might as well get 1 more damage out of the Skull Clamp, and then equip it back over to the Judge's Familiar. Smuggler's Copter. Draws Mirren Crusader. You really don't want to be discarding cards out of this hand. But if you are going to discard one, it's probably Chrome Mox. Yeah, and away it goes. Let's see. Now, he did tap Soul Ring and only use 1 of the colorless mana to equip Kinjali Sunwing, and just let the other colorless mana float into the Aether and disappear. 4/4 goes to 4, which is appropriate. It's starting to smell like mashed potatoes in my house, and it's very hard for me to stay focused. I just passes the turn. We're not going to see Skullclamp go on a Judge's Familiar. Maybe I'm a little too aggressive with the with the Skullclamp Judge's Familiar plays, but drawing cards against a control deck is, I find, a really good way to win games against a control deck, because their goal most of the time is to grind out card advantage against you, draw a ton of cards, and then just have all the answers and have more answers than you have questions because they have drawn more cards. But we'll see how it goes. Now, notably, Skullclamp is a dice trigger. So if you exile Kinjali Sunwing here off of one of the many exile effects in black-white, they're not going to draw any cards. Skullclamp offers a sort of protection, almost. We'll see. Varvac. Upkeep. Waiting for Xmage to pan out. Draws another Plains. That's not as bad as it looks, because he can get the Mirroring Crusader out there. He probably does not want to, because 404 is holding up this, like, well, I've got a ton of mana, got 3 cards in hand, and I've got, 6 mana. I'm gonna kill your things. We'll see, though. 2 of these have to get in. If 2 of them get destroyed, we're not gonna see any damage go through. Swings out with all 3. Any 2 as well. Smuggler's Copter triggers. He probably wants to discard this Plains. Blessed Alliance. This is a card from Thingy. It's 1 and a white. Eldritch Moon. It's 1 and a white for an instant. It's a modal card. Choose 1 or more. With Escalate 2, which means you can choose as many options as you want, but you pay extra for each option. So target player gains 4 life, untap up to 2 target creatures, or target opponent sacrifices an attacking creature. So he can gain 4 life and make him sacrifice an attacking creature, which looks like what we're gonna do. Mode 1 and mode 3, which is target player gains 4 life, target opponent sacrifices an attacking creature. So 4/4 is gonna heal over, and we're gonna see what Varvac sacrifices. He sacrifices the Deputy of Acquittals. Because remember, it is an attacking creature, not just a creature. If it was a creature, he could have sacrificed the Judge's Familiar and still gotten in for a lot, which would have been lethal. Smuggler's Copter trigger resolves. We're getting Aven Mindsetzer and discarding the Plains. Varvac, he has 404 on the ropes. But how on the ropes does 404 need to be for him to lose this game? He's played some stabilizing effects. Out comes Elspeth Sun's Champion. That's disgusting. I mean, he's got flying, but all those 1/1s are going to be really annoying. He can still fly past it. And he can't destroy any creatures. So he's just going to destroy all creatures power 4 or greater. And he concedes the game. Yeah. 404 losing against the Death and Taxes deck. Whoa. That was really good. White, blue, Death and Taxes. Getting there. Oh yeah. Putting them immediately back in where they were. So we're gonna go over to the Tulip Arterian Legacy game. This is game 2. Tulip is 1 up. Let me change the. Thank you so much for hanging out. Thanks for playing games, and we will see you. I'll see you next week, presumably. Oh yeah, thanks for making all the fancy stuff for the stream. That's like really nice. Thank you. See ya. So in the booth with me, I've got Varvac. How's it going? What does blue get you over playing mono white? Yep. I have a physical copy of Reflector Mage on my desk, like right in front of me. Very powerful card. Stunt double, we saw that in your hand. We never got to see it cast, which is really sad. Oh yeah, huh. Looter Core is a powerful card, yeah. Deputy of Acquittals is sweet. Yeah. Did you cut Grand Arbiter Augustin the Fourth? Oop. Oh, that's awful. Also great. Hmm. A lot of people were on mid-range, which is really hard to D&T out. Mm-hmm. There were a couple control decks, but not that many. It's so cool. I mean, that's sweet. Yeah. You know what? Let me pull up Leo Sky Knight. Because it's definitely a pet card. It's a 3/1 with flying. Yeah. Oh my god. Wow. What? And then you're like swinging for 3. Like, excuse me? Lingering Souls. Yeesh. Okay. Is Leo Skynet a human? Yeah, okay, I could play. I don't see why it shouldn't see play in 5-color humans. Mm-mm. Never in the main. We're gonna see 4. We're watching a mid-range punch fest, and we just saw Umazawa's Jite kill 4 spirits in a row. That's rough. Yeah. So this is kind of how a lot of mid-range matchups sometimes go, where one player will be at a really high life title, they'll have the other one on the ropes, and then they'll just run out of cards. They just run out of cards. Yeah. I mean, Tulip has Eldritch Evolution in hand, which I'm gonna guess he wants to... Nah, just run out of the Reliquary. He doesn't need to. Yep. Kind of a brutal game to watch. So, one of, Bone Picker. This card is ridiculous, by the way. How have I never seen this before? It's 3/2 Flying Death Touch for 1. Oh my god. I think Detain as a mechanic is actually really good in tempo. I honestly think 4-color or 2-color humans is gonna be really good. Yeah, why not? I am looking at every card with Detain on it. Oh, are you referring to Inaction Induction? New Prov Guild Mage? Ah. No. I literally have Detain Search open. Oh, Azorius Arrestor. Yeah. Just a car? Oh yeah, I can't read. I'm pretty sure it is. I like Azorius Arrestor in a white tempo list. Like if you're in, say, I don't know, Bant tempo or what's the one? Jeskai tempo? Yeah. Azorius Arrestor seems fine. Hell yes. Yeah, and Tulip takes it after Arterian bricks for like 400 turns. Brutal. And I think that's our last game. That's bad. Going online. Between rounds. Sure, that's fine. Yeah. Absolutely. Definitely don't go 5-color. That's my recommendation for you. Well, we have finished up our tournament standings, and I have a result. The winner of this tournament, who has gone 3-0, is Mr. Tulip. Congratulations! You were just on a junk list, just on a mid-range list, and you took it. Yeah. Well, okay, that's fair. In second place we have Coinman, who went 2-1. Yeah, I'm not crazy. On Doomsday, with some really stupid lines that somehow worked out for you, which was awesome. Yeah, that was some top tier stuff. Well, I'm just gonna call it there. Thank you so much for all the players who turned out for this. Thank you for anybody who is, I don't know, watching this afterwards. For showing up. This has been a lot of fun. As it turns out, if you get a lot of sleep before you do hosting, it can actually be fun. Weird, right? Yeah, turns out sleeping is good for you. I'm gonna call it there. Thank you. I just am gonna continue to say this same sentence over and over again. We will see you next week. Bye!